must have been busy. But the Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington, we're breaking this down.
Every day I'm shuffling.
The Big 12, the Monster Energy Big 12. Can I say this seriously? Because I was very disappointed with the Dodgers naming the field after what's that company?
Uniquely field,
whatever.
Uniquely.
Yeah. Like I didn't like that because I always thought the Dodgers and the Yankees, right, were all above that. The Yankees. Kelvin, how much money could the Yankees get to rename Yankee Stadium American Express Stadium tomorrow? Are you kidding? Like, companies wouldn't want their name on that stadium. It won't happen. The Yankees don't even have a black jersey or alternate jersey. They're wearing the same uniforms that Babe Ruth wore. They refuse to give in. They have tradition. Everything can't be for sale. What is wrong with people? Why can't we have any tradition? Who's got the bigger pay? Who's got a check? Everything's for sale. Get off the street corner, Big 12. What is this? Embarrassing. And we've seen it out in Houston. They've changed the name of the Astro Stadium 4 times. Nobody knows what to call it. They've won World Series. Was it Enron? Was it Tropicana? Where did they play? We named the place. I don't even know what the name is now. There's like a third name. Seriously. And it takes away from being able to have some historical standpoint and where I was.
To get the rest of what The Odd Couple said, podcast it by searching Odd Couple. And as always, you can listen to The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
My check. Here we are with Jaylen Brown. So Micah was a great but flawed star. Luka was a great but flawed star. You didn't want to talk about the flaws. Jaylen Brown is great but a totally flawed star. He's not a top 20 player analytically, and that's what drives the bus for the Celtics in the league. Since he has arrived, the Celtics have a higher winning percentage when he doesn't play. I'm not making that up. More Tatum, less Brown, better the Celtics are. And now he was Twitch streaming, deteriorating relationships, getting more vocal. That stuff matters. Same thing kind of with Micah. So Micah, Luka, and Jaylen Brown, I will again be in an island. I think the Celtics will be better next year. Last year, the Celtics were 9-2 when Jaylen Brown didn't play.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gotts.
Yes.
And he Gotts Company.
I love that.
Stu Gotts and Company. Live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports.
Listen, kicking's an individual sport.
With whatever they want.
I once went to 11 consecutive dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes the lights off.
What?
It's Stu Gotts and Company live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Right here on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. From first things first in The Herd to your sports teams. FS1 has what you need. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details. And here's what you need to know.
In a World Cup quarterfinal in L.A., Spain eliminated Belgium 2-1 on a goal in the 88th minute. The San Antonio Spurs gave Victor Wembanyama a 5-year extension, potentially worth over $250 million. The University of Michigan promoted Mike Boynton to head coach with a 2-year deal. In the WNBA, a game in Montreal, attendance 21,000 as Dallas beat Toronto 108-95. Number 1 Yannick Sinner swept Novak Djokovic in their Wimbledon semifinal. Scottie Scheffler missed the cut at the Scottish Open. In Major League Baseball, the Yankees, after a rain delay at the start, ended the game near midnight in D.C., beating Washington 5-3 with 2 homers in the top of the 9th. Detroit won its 6th straight, 10-2 over Philadelphia. Milwaukee at Pittsburgh rained out. Boston won its 7th straight. The A's lost their 7th in a row, and the D-backs beat the Dodgers. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moot.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah! Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
Yes, sir. Another edition of FnA on FSR. Thank you guys for joining us yet again. At KFig1 is where you can find me on X. Adam is at Follow Adam A on X. We are at FnA Show on X as well. Adam, what's popping, man?
Everything's good, especially because we got one of those good shows for everybody tonight,
Right.
Kevin. We're not messing around. No. We're talking NBA. La Murray's going to join us live from Las Vegas. Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Yeah. We got Fight Night in Vegas. Not talking about UFC. We're talking about some teammate on teammate or former teammate on former teammate crime. I want to see what Law knows about that.
Yeah, he may have some intel on the former Miami Heat teammates that threw down a little bit earlier today. In the first hour, though, we will talk about LeBron James because we're contractually obligated to.
LeBron James.
Or paid by clutch. At least that's what people like to say anytime, you say something factual about LeBron. Even if it is factual, they don't want to hear that because then you're a LeBron apologist. And, well, that's just not in vogue. That will not be tolerated on radio airwaves. You have to hate LeBron, Clutch, and everybody else.
Why are you still talking about LeBron James? I was like, I don't know. He's probably still the best available free agent and probably a top 20 player in the league. And no matter where he signs, could flip the few fortunes of an individual team as to whether or not they are a championship contender.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
When you're a top 20 player in the league still, even though you're turning 42 in December, and we actually care about what you do on the basketball court, yeah, we're probably going to talk about that guy.
Doesn't mean I'm not annoyed by a lot of the way that things are handled and the way he handles himself and Rich Paul and the podcast and all that stuff. All of that can be true, but doesn't mean he's not a great player. It doesn't mean it doesn't warrant talking about what his future may look like.
The Rich Paul podcast is an abomination.
I'm getting very irritated.
The manipulation of talking about other guys' money and Austin Reeves and who could be traded, I can't take it, but it exists for one reason. It draws headlines and gets clipped, farmed everywhere.
So LeBron was tired of taking all the direct hits from his barbershop show that he did. I don't think that's the thing anymore because Rich Paul, I think, was a part of that show. So now Rich just does his own show and does all the talking for LeBron, it sounds like.
It's like he wanted to be a media personality. He had done everything else. They talked about him. We referenced him enough before he had a show.
Yep.
So he probably thought, I might as well get one. They're talking about me already, and I'm going to set the record straight on all these things. But it comes across to me as just bad form for having your agent talk, which everybody just assumes he's talking for LeBron. He's LeBron's mouthpiece. And how did you not know that was going to happen? But coming up in the second hour, Kevin, what do we have for him? Outside of La Murray.
Yeah, outside of La Murray. We'll talk about some of the best and worst offseason moves that have happened in the NBA thus far. There have been many. And that might be more worse than best, to be honest with you, as far as my list goes to you. And one pending one. And we'll talk about that coming up in the second hour as well. One that is currently put on hold that can have major ramifications for two franchises moving forward, specifically the long-term future of one franchise that Adam holds very near and dear to his heart.
I'm interested in this story. I'm sure we'll ask Law about it as well. Hour 3, though, a little MLB for you guys.
Right.
Because we do have the All-Star break, the Midsummer Classic coming up next week, the Home Run Derby. Are you still into it? I mean, now that we have interleague and everybody plays everybody, is it the same? Do the purists like Bob Costa, do they have to be upset this time of the year?
Of course you do, Adam. What are you talking about?
I'm
It's
sorry.
the greatest spectacle ever in sports.
I forgot about Rob Parker.
That's right.
And his influence on the game on MLB Network all the time. And what's the podcast called again?
Inside the Parker.
Pretty good.
It is. Yeah.
It's at least a good name, if nothing else. No, I'm sure it's a great show.
It's a good podcast as well. Please, I encourage you guys to go out and subscribe and download it. Our friend Rob Parker does a great job on Inside the Parker.
All right, let's start things off with a little bit of fallout after what happened this week to Team USA. And if we still care about the World Cup.
Let's go.
It's go time. Let's rock. First off,
well, before we talk about the losers, that being us,
lose.
Because I mean, the faces of international soccer are still playing at them. Like Mbappe is still killing it.
Tell
Messi,
Ronaldo that.
no, well, Yeah.
The
The
faces and the neck with the protruding Adam's apple like I've never seen before. And it does feel like an alien is about to pop out of it. Like it is that it's ready to give birth.
Some would say
Alien 6.
Ronaldo's star has begun to fade a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. He
You
doesn't
can't-
move so well, but still a good striker on penalty kicks.
No, he absolutely is. I'm not saying he's a bad player at all, but I mean, we're talking otherworldly stuff when we're talking about Mbappe and Messi. And Messi, who's 5,000 years old and still playing like he's in his prime, and Mbappe is in his prime. I mean, we're talking about the old head and the new guard, and they're both neck and neck fighting each other for the most goals in World Cup history. You realize Mbappe is only 27 years old? So he has at least 3 more cycles of this. If he plays 3 more cycles, he's going to end up being the same age that Messi is now, which is 39 years old. He's on course to obliterate the World Cup goals record.
I couldn't believe what he did, but also the Argentina comeback, which almost got me on Old Takes Exposed, because I did put out a GIF of, you probably are more familiar with this than me, Kevin, but it's Homer Simpson, and I'm guessing one of the Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Sports.
And he's saying, come over to the couch. Come over here. Sit down next to me. It's all dark in the room. He and Bart Simpson are already there. They look like they're zombified or something like that. And I said, this is Ronaldo telling Messi, come over here. Come have a seat. Why don't you have a seat right over here for me? You're about to join me in not retirement, but at least at the end of this tournament. And that did not go that way.
Far be it from me to call out nefariousness when it comes to officials. That's usually not my thing. I don't like to blame officials when the outcome of games are in question most of the time. But, and again, I'll admit, I am an international soccer novice. Full disclosure,
not me.
I watch a lot of that. Of course, yeah. You're sitting there watching Borussia Dortmund games and all sorts of things at 4:00 in the morning on Sunday mornings. Of course,
La Liga, Premier League. Let's go.
Of course you are. But I mean, what happened to Egypt in that game was highway robbery. I am not saying that FIFA was, trying to find a way to make sure that Messi made it into the next round. But I mean, for you to call a foul on a goal that was made and the play was way, way back, not even a factor, that's a little fishy. And FIFA has a history of being known for a lot of fishy things. So
what would the score have been had they gotten that goal?
That would have been 2-0. So they ended up scoring another goal later. So it still was 2-0 later, but now all of a sudden
could have been 3-0.
Potentially. Now I realize the game plays out differently at different times, but if you were to call it and say they was 3-0, for all of Messi's heroics, I highly doubt he was going to be able to score 4 goals in the last 10 minutes or whatever it would have been to lead Argentina back. So look, I'm not taking credit away from Messi or Argentina. They still had to play. They still had to make the goals. Egypt still had burdensome responsibility for collapsing the way that they did. But there were a couple of BS calls that went Argentina's way very conveniently, that the face of international soccer, or at least the old face and the new face, if you want to call it the LeBron versus the young LeBron versus old Kobe, or whatever you want to call it, making sure that those two guys stay alive as long as possible. If you wanted to call conspiracy on that, I might not disagree with you.
Well, they certainly did. The entire team, the coach afterwards, plenty of people were upset with
Several analysts. It's not just me.
I get it.
That's what even confirmed it even more.
They definitely got some help. They also didn't get help, though, on those 3 goals in 15 minutes that they were able to score themselves.
No, not at all. That's why I say I'm not taking credit away from them at all.
The Fast and Furious comeback they had was remarkable. Did they leave the door open for that possibility to happen by taking away that goal? Yeah, you could say that. That's fair enough. Do we have to talk about them? Right. I don't know if we want to.
No. Well,
we have to talk about. I wish we had somebody in our favor trying to give us a win, because
we can talk about the new Captain America, who's not American at all, Erling Haaland. We'll talk about him.
Yeah,
who's just blowing up everybody's social media feeds over the past 3 days.
I'm getting major Brock Lesnar vibes from that face of his. Like he's going to go out there and drop an F5, or someone does it to him and then he retires.
Little less roids, but yeah.
Okay, we'll get there eventually.
And honestly, completely different demeanor. Very humble, very self-deprecating, not kind of like the anti-Mbappe. Mbappe, very cocky, lets people hear it, not shaking hands of opponents after games. And Haaland's out there shaking hands, kissing babies, big-ass smile on his face, embracing his Vikingness culture, the Nordic culture.
Valhalla.
Yeah, like I said, he's the all-American, non-American, still left in the tournament.
Is that who we're rooting for from here on? Is it Norway?
I've had no less than 3 people say, like, oh, now that the United States is out, I'm rowing. I'm now rowing with Norway. And then I don't see if you've seen the meme of the guy who's from Norway who refuses to like partake in the celebration because he says, we didn't row, we sailed. It was like, all right, if you want to get caught up in technicalities, then sure.
That's a bar. Jay-Z tonight had nothing on that with his freestyle.
Like, all right,
let's go.
Way to be a buzzkill, man. Just enjoy the freaking ride, all right? You're deeper in the tournament than anybody thought you'd get. Have some fun with it.
Unfortunately, Team USA did not get as deep as some would have liked. And it really goes back to the question you asked me last week, Kevin.
What was that question, Adam?
I think it was something to the effect of
Pop quiz, hot shot.
if they lose to Belgium, would you view this World Cup tournament as a failure? And then I played this sound.
You're a huge embarrassing failure.
Now I qualified it
Yeah.
and said, I still want to see how the game plays out if they competed, which is apparently asking a lot after how the game went. If they competed, lost in a shootout, lost by 1, played their hearts out, Belgium just better, which they probably are, of course. That would be one thing.
Are they? Again, we were favored. We were favored even before Balogun was allowed to play. We were favored to win that match.
Yeah, I guess I'm going off the fact that Belgium was in it today against Spain and lost the game after they lost their goalie and thinking after seeing them play that game, they're probably better than us. They ain't 4-1 better than us. We helped them out like the FIFA was helping out Messi in Argentina. Like, this was an unmitigated disaster.
The damn plane has crashed into the mountain.
They lost in the most pathetic, feeble way, giving up the worst goal of the tournament with our goalie, Matt Freese, who froze up. And is that what the golden boot is? Was it on his foot? Like, did his foot become a statue? He couldn't move it and kick the ball away before we got the most pathetic goal scored on us in the history of World Cup soccer? Okay, it's probably not that.
That was horrible, and it certainly didn't help. But just the all-in-out effort. And Carly Lloyd, credit to her, who's a winner and knows what it takes and has won it at a major level, obviously, multiple gold medals. And she called out Christian Pulisic. Now, granted, all of this was before we found out they had a fractured leg, but I will say that happened towards the end of the match after we were already getting our asses kicked and after he was already not playing well this entire tournament leading up to it. So I think her criticism of him was warranted, and she pointed out something really important. This is one of the most talented rosters that we have had in a long time, if not ever. She said other teams, the old Kobe Jones, Clint Dempsey, those type of teams were not the best talent, but they were gritty. They played hard. Yeah. They came out, they were prepared. So oftentimes they just weren't good enough.
Played above their heads.
This team was at least good enough. Again, they were favored to beat Belgium. Had they came in and lost to Spain today, 4-1, I think few people would have complained. Spain is a superior team. They probably should kick our ass. Nobody would have been surprised by that. You can't have that sort of effort and come out and look that flat, that listless, that unprepared. Maybe the moment was too big for them. Whatever descriptor you want to use, that was an embarrassing effort.
They looked incompetent. They didn't look ready for the moment. And they looked like a team that maybe had too easy of a path beforehand, that maybe didn't realize what real competition looks like, or maybe they were shook because Belgium beat them 5-2 back in March. I don't know what it was, but it didn't look like the same Team USA we had seen throughout the tournament leading up to this. And even if Belgium is the better team overall, there isn't that much separation between them and Team USA. 3 of the 4 goals Team USA gave up were just, embarrassing, egregious, unprofessional. They were that bad.
Even offensively, being able to control the ball or lack thereof. Christian Pulisic had 11 turnovers. Yeah. 11
in the first half.
Yeah, and the people were like, why didn't you pull him out of the game? And the people arguing for it or against it were like, well, he's our best player. It was like, if your best player is playing like ass, pull him out. Put somebody else, put Berhalter, put somebody in the game.
Look at the performance that is out there on the field right now and stop going off of reputation. There's just no way to feel good about this World Cup experience for Team USA after losing like that, after going out like that. They went out sad.
It's one of the most disappointing, probably the most disappointing effort in men's, at least modern men's U.S. soccer history, considering you're on home soil. This is the most talented roster you had. You had a pretty easy group to get out of, and the way the bracket broke your way, you should have found a way to make sure that you were alive for the quarterfinal. Again, if you were playing this afternoon or Friday afternoon against Spain and you got your ass kicked, few people will be upset. But the fact that you lost and the way that you lost to Belgium absolutely unacceptable.
They look tentative and passive and overmatched, but it's one thing for a team to be more talented than you and being overmatched on paper or just out execute you. But they look like they knew psychologically that they couldn't beat them out there, and it broke their will or their spirit. And that should not happen, especially in our own backyard. Insult to injury here, losing with home field in that fashion. I don't know if it actually worked against them by having that pathetic of a group that they weren't as battle tested, but this was the real test and they failed. And yes, it was a failure. I'm at the point now where I can't hear it anymore. I can't keep hearing there's so much promise for the future with this team.
Oh, we've been hearing that for 20 years.
Yeah.
I feel like Alexi Law says that every 4 years.
In 2002, you could say that. There was so much promise, and they got screwed.
Right.
We're in 2026 now. I'm almost resigned to our fate that we're just never going to be good enough because we don't send our best athletes, and this is it.
Yeah. I was like, basically, call me when they get there. It's one of those. The expectation is no longer there for me. By the way, I'll be honest with you. I was skeptical this entire time. It was like, it's also like someone like as a Raider fan says, "Oh, the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl." It's like, sure, give me a call. Give me a call when they make it. Matter of fact, give me a call when they make it to the postseason, let alone make it even to the conference championship game. I'll believe
the Raiders suck.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it with this team. And the crazy part is too, I don't know what the future says for this team. If Pochettino is going to stay on as the head coach, he says he was kind of conflicted as to whether or not he was going to stay or whether or not he wants to go back into coaching professional soccer overseas. So we'll see where that sits.
Thought he was going to be the difference, right?
The issue is, things have improved, but it's not great. Obviously, this was, like I said, this is one of the worst, if not the worst cycle we've had, considering what the expectations were. Here's the problem: if talent wasn't an issue, how do you fix this moving forward? Like, it's one thing to be out talented and just say, like, we play hard, we just aren't good enough. Now you are good enough, but now it's a mental issue. That's going to be a lot harder to break than to say we just don't have enough good athletes. Well, that's the difficult part.
The only solution, if it's mental, is to get in more of these big friendly matchups more often and win them, because they haven't won many of them as of late.
Win your share of Gold Cups, win your CONCACAF, win a lot of big international matchups.
And Christian Pulisic has to play in those games too. And post-match, he's talking about his ankle. I tried to find the full interview just to give him the benefit of the doubt with that comment he made about, now I can rest.
But Carly Lloyd ripped him to him for saying that as well.
I'm sorry, but, I was listening to a G League player, most likely earlier today, Nick Martinelli out of Northwestern's with the Clippers. And they played a summer league game, and he didn't play well. And earlier today, he said flat out, I was terrible. Just be honest about it. Just if you want to win people over, have some transparency, take some ownership, take some accountability, and just be blunt and say, I didn't play well enough. I don't care about the injury. And I'm going to do everything I can to redeem myself for this performance, because this was not to my standard.
Which to a certain degree, that's what Balogun did. And that's why there's questions now. It's like, okay, who's the face of the team? Because Pulisic didn't post anything on social media about, like, I'm disappointed. I didn't play well. We didn't play well. We didn't meet expectations.
Probably just more endorsement posts.
Kind of, to be honest with you. So people just want from the leader, like you said, to take responsibility, even if it wasn't your fault. And to be honest, to a certain degree, you're supposed to be the guy that sets everybody up. You're supposed to be the thing that makes the offense go, whether you're scoring goals or getting assists, and you didn't either. So just own up to it. We didn't play well. I didn't play well. I need to be a better leader. We're going to show up for you. United States coming up in for a take. Whatever, all the cliches.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even do any of that.
Just something relatable. Balogun saying, we let you down.
Right. That's it.
That's fair. Because I'm sure some people, maybe younger people, they're feeling like, if you're growing up as a teenager right now and looking at Team USA, you probably do feel like the future has so much promise. Yeah. And maybe you will see a Team USA team win the World Cup at some point. But I don't know if Kevin and I are in our lifetime. I can't buy into this anymore. And the Christian Pulisic hate that was coming out, it was a little bit surprising to me. It made me feel like a definite casual with soccer and football because of all the stuff I didn't realize with him not playing with the Gold Cup and You know, he hadn't scored a goal leading up to the tournament. He hadn't looked the same, but physically he seemed to be fine. Now, he was good against Paraguay. He was.
Coming off the bench in brief. Yeah.
He was good in that game. And then he gets hurt. He doesn't play against Australia. So how much did the injury affect things? Even if that's the case, there's a better way to handle a post-game or post-match interview than he did. Because right now he's taking all the incoming. And if you're the captain and they call you Captain America and you're the face of Team USA Soccer, that's the way it's going to go.
Well, look, you know what they say. If you can be hurt, guys can play injured. It happens. But if you're out there playing, people are going to expect you to play at a high level. And if you don't do that, you can't use that as an excuse after the game is over.
You got the commercials. You got the nickname. You have to live up to some of this stuff. And it was just another letdown. It was a stunning loss, honestly, how poorly that game was played by Team USA and how bad their defense looked. Coming up next, his defense is pretty spotty at times now, but
he's 50 years old, Adam. Get off his back. Jeez.
Well, wait a second. LeBron apologist in the house? How dare you?
The ageism over here.
We'll talk about LeBron James, where they can hide that bad defender in the league, what team he should go to give himself the best chance of peace of mind to end his career or the best chance to win a championship. One more. I'm Adam Moslin. He's Kevin Figures. This is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
NBA front offices are wheeling and dealing.
Cleveland star Donovan Mitchell's agreed to a 4-year, $273 million extension.
Wow. Insiders are dropping bombs, and your team is getting better.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or maybe worse. We've got it all on Fox Sports Radio.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. You know what's slower than a pace car? Waiting at the car wash. That's when I fire up Chumba Casino. It turns those slow minutes into fast fun. With new games every week, you'll never get bored. Next time you're stuck in
No
a
show
slow
tweet
lane,
today?
With Chumba. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited.
A guy called, was asking for the YouTube link. He's like, how do I watch them on YouTube? And I had to read it out to him.
I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online. Take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Big testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
High quality meat, unbeatable freshness, and a family-style commitment to care, that's the Heartland difference. Heartland Steak Co. is your go-to source for premium Midwest meats, delivered straight to your door. Whether you're hosting a backyard barbecue, planning weeknight dinners, or giving someone the gift of Midwest flavor, Heartland Steak Co. is perfect for any occasion. Hand-cut and hand-picked from the Heartland. Our premium selection includes USDA prime and choice beef, all-natural pork, chicken, and more. Save time and money with easy online ordering and expertly prepared grill master packages, freezer filler bundles, holiday gift boxes, all flash frozen for peak freshness. Go to heartlandsteakco.com and use promo code BURGERS to get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99. Heartland Steak Co., your one-stop shop for straight-to-your-door Midwest meat. Taste the Heartland difference at heartlandsteakco.com. Again, that's code BURGERS to get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99.
It's Ben Maller.
It's the gas bag on the radio who is tossing verbal raspberries.
at you.
Your late night getaway. The big dog.
Big.
Got it?
I disagree.
Good.
So I have abstract art, Fisher Price, and the Mighty Zoltar.
What the hell did he just say?
It's the Ben Maller Show.
What kind of acid was someone on when they cooked this up?
Listen on the overnights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Accessing.
The one and only.
When Dan Patrick speaks, you better stop and listen.
I must have missed this.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
I get it. Lexi Lawless is a fire starter. That's why Fox has him on there. But when you're going to talk about the system and say the system isn't a problem, it's the players, well, they're all intertwined. And I think that's the problem. We're not finding the players. And when you have the players, you develop the players, then maybe we can compete on a big level. But everybody keeps saying, wow, what a great start. We've had this start for 30 years, it feels like. It's the finish that doesn't change. And I think if we're going to continue to be what would be applicable to a mid-major in college basketball, that's not good enough for us. But with Alexi, he's paid to have opinions. Kevin Frazier doesn't have an outlet on Entertainment Tonight. I said to Paulie, as journalists, we should reach out to Alexi Lawless. Well, Alexi Lawless actually reached out to us in a social media post saying what, Paulie?
Yeah, Alexi responded to the Kevin Frazier clip we just played and said, quote, "Hey, Kev, I'm good, but thanks for your concern. I've constantly said that I'd love soccer to be free for kids, but who should pay for free soccer? Also, do you think those who work and use soccer are greedy and should make less money? If so, why? Hope you're well and respect your passion."
So there is really a disconnect here. And, you can look at the system, like the better you are, like the more you pay in the United States. And if you look at the other countries, I mean, they signed Messi at age 12 on a.
If you want to know what Dan Patrick said next, just podcast it by searching The Dan Patrick Show. And as always, you can listen to Dan Patrick live weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
I did.
It's Dan Patrick. Yeah, him. You trust Dan. You need Dan.
Nobody needs to know that.
Because without Dan, mornings just wouldn't be the same.
This is guaranteed to go wrong. Horribly wrong. Absolutely.
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Need I say more?
Shut up. Yeah. That, to me, was a little cringeworthy there.
Listen weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Right here.
I want publicity.
On Fox Sports Radio. Are you using the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app? It's the button that looks like a microphone, which allows you to talk to us. Press it, record your message, and fire it off.
Rose Bowl game.
It's simple and intuitive.
Broadcast on radio.
On second thought, perhaps some people are confusing it with a smart speaker prompt.
Texas and Arizona.
Pretty sure that's what's happening.
Texas and Arizona football game.
Fox Sports Radio is at your fingertips on the iHeartRadio app. FS1. Live sports and live programming. FS1. Big games. Big takes. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details.
Nice of you guys to drop by.
FnA, Cotton. FnA.
It is FnA on FSR. Be sure to subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube channel. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube, and you'll see our best videos from all of our shows. Hit the thumbs up icon and comment away. Let us know whose takes you agree with and even those you don't. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube and subscribe.
Coming up in Geek News, a video game fact of the week. One of the best games ever just turned 45. I never came on the Sega Genesis to my knowledge, but we will celebrate it. 45 years.
So it can't be that great if it wasn't on the Sega Genesis.
Well, I mean, we're a little bit biased in that area. There were some other good systems out there, though, too. And some of these systems and companies are still going and not defunct, like Sega went with their consoles, at least. And got beat up by Nintendo, who now owns Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sega was just too real for him. That's what it was.
You're right.
Just too real for him.
As real as the streets of rage.
That's right.
All right, let's talk about it. We have to. LeBron James is a free agent again. And LeBron watch is on.
Again. We're doing, and if it takes on a different form every time he does this. You notice that we had the decision, obviously, back in 2010 when he did it. When he went back to the Cleveland Cavaliers, I don't know if there was a giant courting process like there is now, or like there was then.
Yeah.
And of course, he had the Lee Jenkins Sports Illustrated thing that he just dropped on like a random Tuesday afternoon or whatever it was.
It was a little bit subdued.
Yeah.
Compared to the decision, at least. The Lakers one was definitely.
Yeah, that was just like a 2-sentence. I'm signing with the Los Angeles Lakers, and that was it.
I'd be going to the Lakers like Magic Johnson was.
Right.
I'd be going pro.
This situation has a little bit more of like a decision feel to it, but he has one of his people doing it for him. LeBron is out here posting vacation videos left and right, doing his thing on the golf course in Cleveland, Akron, doing his thing, and Rich Paul's the one basically being the mouthpiece at this point.
Well, LeBron's been hanging out with the guys on the 10-year anniversary of the 3-1 comeback with the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. Richard Jefferson has said LeBron told him where he's going.
So LeBron already knows.
That's the way he made it sound, which makes things worse.
Right.
If
so what are we doing?
Holding things up so we talk about him more?
It's not going to do much. Now, granted, if you already don't like LeBron James, there's probably little you can do that's going to make you like him at this point.
There's nothing.
If you do like him, or if you're fairly neutral about him, something like this might swing the pendulum towards, you know what? I really started not to like this guy a little bit more than I did before.
It took him 41 years, but now I'm hating on him.
Don't give in to hate.
Like, if I were LeBron, it's simple. Go back to a place where you're worshipped, whether or not you win another championship or not. It's similar to Kawhi with Toronto. You can go back there, and he's a hero either way. They don't have to win again. Same with LeBron. We'll get to Kawhi in Toronto a little bit, but same with LeBron and going back to Cleveland. This is not a difficult decision.
Yeah, I would say for the sentimental and for the narrative of it, 1,000%. If we're just if he is talking about wanting to win a championship, which he said is what he cares about most. This is what Rich Paul said at the beginning of last offseason when referencing the Lakers and says, I'm paraphrasing, but they're on different timelines, or they have Luka and they're trying to win, in their own way. LeBron James's priority is to win championships every year that he plays now. And a lot of people feel like that one of the reasons LeBron left the Lakers is regardless of whatever pieces they put around that roster, they were not going to be good enough to win a championship in that form. So he was going to leave and go somewhere else. There's a lot of different rumors, and we can get into that now or another time as to the exact reason why he's leaving. But there are places that he can go where I do think gives him a legitimate shot to actually win a championship. I do not know if Cleveland, from a fit standpoint, is necessarily one of them.
I don't know if the fit's perfect because him next to LeBron James in Donovan Mitchell, three guys that can be ball dominant out there. Does he add much shooting? No. Can he help them a little bit in the front court? He could.
But I mean, you're so he's basically going to the three, I'm assuming, because you're not putting Jared Allen or Evan Mobley on the bench. Yeah. So it's a big front line. And you're asking LeBron to keep up with a lot of athletic threes at this point, which I don't know if he's equipped to do with for 30 plus minutes a night on a night in, night out basis. You mentioned that James Harden. I think the mix between James Harden and Donovan Mitchell is already a little clunky because both of those guys perform best when the ball is in their hands. And LeBron James, yes, performed well in that Draymond Green hybrid floater, whatever kind of role you want to call it, when the Lakers had that March. I just don't know if it's the right fit for Cleveland specifically. The place I think he's the best basketball fit, I think it's actually Denver, because he's playing with another high-level passer with Nikola Jokic. I also think a big part of this is, too, and you have some insight in this, too, because the Clippers have a lot of interest in Peyton Watson. If Denver can find some way, shape, or form to be able to keep Peyton Watson, now LeBron James can literally be the Swiss Army knife in every way, shape, and form, because he doesn't have to be the defensive stopper, because you have Peyton Watson that can do that in the backcourt, and Aaron Gordon, if his hamstring holds up, can be that in the front court. He doesn't have to be the offense because Jamal Murray can pick up the slack when needed. Nikola Jokic can pick up the slack when needed. And LeBron can just kind of get in where he fits in. I think he will be a perfect complementary piece to the core that they already have. So from a basketball standpoint, I think the best fit for him is actually with the Denver Nuggets.
I don't disagree with you. I think him and Joker would be magical on the court, and them playing off one another with how good and how well they read the game would be special. It just would be a little bit funky from a narrative standpoint if he ends his career in Denver. of all places.
A place that swept him out of the conference finals, a couple
of years.
That
beat the hell out of him for years, beat the Lakers for years as well, beat the Clippers too. It's just, it's a little bit strange to me if this is going to be his final year, or maybe it's not, and he can keep playing for another 3 years, and he can still end up going for that last season in Cleveland. Because Denver is a good fit, and they can keep Peyton Watson if they want to pay the money. That's really just the only issue here with him.
Their tax bill will be astronomical. What they would need to do, they probably need to find a way to either get off of the contract of Christian Brown and or Aaron Gordon.
Good luck.
Because that's the problem. Christian Brown, I've heard a lot of people talk about Christian Brown has a terrible contract. I was like, I don't know, $20 million for his production this past season. Yes,
right.
He was also injured. If you go back 2 years ago, if a guy is giving me 16, 5 and playing above average, I would say even better than above average, good perimeter defense, a guy making $22 million a year, that's a good contract. I don't think he has a bad contract at all.
With him being this young, there's still plenty of hope that he's going to get better.
Even if he
doesn't.
Not a
poison pill contract. He just
24.
has, if he gets back to where he was before this last season and then progresses from there, you would expect with him still being young. Yeah, it's fine. But
if it forces you to have to say, if it's one of those, okay, he's quote unquote a bad contract and you have to give up a first round pick, maybe a protected first round pick for someone to take his contract, for me to be able to keep Peyton Watson and what he showed last year when he was healthy, the kind of player that he can be, I think it's worth it. I'd give up a first round pick if it means I have the ability to keep Peyton Watson in the fold.
Between him, Aaron Gordon, and Jamal Murray at times, although he's coming off arguably his best season, he was finally an all-star, there are health concerns, and then you add LeBron James to that. But if you're getting him on the minimum, which is what it would be in Denver, you're fine with it. You're great with it, and I think the fit does work. He just has to blend in. You said just fit in where you can. Just blend in, play different roles. LeBron can be the hybrid Swiss Army knife out there as well. Some are calling him like a high-level Draymond Green when he took on third option role for the Lakers back in March when they dominated.
And that was a compliment, by the way, obviously with a much higher ceiling than Draymond Green ever would have offensively.
LeBron's playmaking ability combined with his slashing skill and basketball mind and streaky shooting, but typically when he has a down shooting year, it goes up the next year.
Right.
So that's in Denver's favor. I agree with you in fit. I think that would be perfect. I think that would probably give him the best chance of winning a championship this season. And then you can go from there. Maybe he eventually retires in Cleveland, as I mentioned earlier. The Golden State Warriors, though, or Cleveland Cavaliers might be the most likely destinations just because he can stay in California. If he goes to Golden State, he can team up with Steph Curry. They can pull off the Team USA stuff they were doing in 2024. They have great chemistry and synergy. But if LeBron wants to be respected and beloved,
the
you
ship has sailed on that, by the way. But go on.
You've already, if he goes to Cleveland, he's good. He goes to Cleveland, he's always a conquering hero. That's the only place he can definitely get that.
He can't
maybe
lose.
Some in Miami, but to a lesser degree.
Yeah.
With Golden State, though, you're always in Steph's shadow. That's the problem. KD had to deal with it while he was winning finals MVPs. Steph is San Francisco's, Oakland's favorite son, and that's not going to change.
Well, you're also admitting Cleveland, even with the clunky fit in the Eastern Conference, I think there's an argument to be made. They can find a way to get to the finals and then see what happens.
Yeah, they got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
I don't see a path with LeBron James going to the Golden State Warriors where they make it out of the Western Conference and actually make it to the finals. So if he's going to Golden State, it is literally, I'm playing with my friends, Steph Curry and Draymond Green. I'm going to be comfortable. I like Steve Kerr. This is our Team USA light that we're doing down here. We're going to have some fun.
We're going to enjoy the basketball.
Bring Jimmy Butler and his leg. Hopefully is back working together and have some fun and see what we can do. But we know we're not going to win a championship in that situation.
Yeah.
So I would even take I don't like the Miami fit either, but at the very least, it's all right, he's a guy that can handle the basketball, which is something they're lacking right now. He's someone, I don't know if I want the burden of him having to be the de facto point guard at 42 years old at this point in his career, but at the very least, he can do it. And that is the biggest hole that they have between just having them with a Giannis and Bam Adebayo. So I guess from that standpoint, he would help the Miami Heat, but I don't think he turns them to a contender too because they just have no backcourt.
No backcourt. They're still missing shooting on that team, which is kind of necessary. They always found it before with him in Miami. They could bring in Shane Battier or Mike Miller or Ray Allen.
I'm sure all those guys are available now and play just as high of a level today as they did 12 years ago.
The first part's true. They're available. But,
I mean, they're LeBron's age, right? Just bring the band back together, too.
Yeah, you'd have to surround them with more shooting. You'd still have a puncher's chance because it's the East and Giannis is so good, but you're worried about his health still. Look, he's not going back to the Lakers. I would say if I was him, and I know this is an a-hole move, but who cares? They already hate you in Los Angeles, apparently, or at least half the fan base does. Go to Boston. Take the minimum. They have everything you need right there. Jason Tatum's your running mate. He is going to have the primary responsibility and the biggest burden on him offensively every night. So you have the ability to be the 1B or the number 2 option. And then you have an assortment of great role players around you in a system that works. It would scorn Lakers fans. Who cares? Like, do it. Remember we tried to be the villain the first time with Miami? I know it didn't work out, but he did that whole commercial and everything. Just be the villain for one other team, your last team in the Los Angeles Lakers, by going to their biggest rival in Boston, because I think they would be spectacular.
I feel like he, among other prominent athletes, have had pointed words about Boston and the city and its sports stars and its demographics. True. So I don't know if that would necessarily be the best fit. But if he were just to be an a-hole and just to spurn Laker fans for the narrative value of it, I'm here for it. And I hate the Celtics. I'm a Laker fan.
I think
as a fan of the sport and as someone who does a radio show who loves talking about this sort of stuff, bring it on.
If the
Lakers, I'm all about it.
And their fans had to watch him win the championship with the Boston Celtics,
It's so funny.
It would be funny. It would be very hilarious and humorous to me because of the shots.
Of course it would for you. Oh, of course it would for you.
I got no skin in the game here.
You have skin. You have skin in the game. You want the Lakers to lose at every single possible turn.
Well, that's a good point. That's where my hate typically stems from.
Speaking of winning segments, coming up next, we have Geek News, a video game fact.
We got it for you. Video game fact. Somebody just turned 45.
Here's a fact. I don't know whether you know.
I don't know why you have to out me on national radio like that, Adam.
I know a lot of people were thinking it was me, Kevin. Okay, don't worry about it. I'm the guy looking beat up over here. But no, we're talking about a video game that just turned 45 yesterday. We'll celebrate it. You know it well. I had a documentary on it. One of my favorites. He's Kevin Figures. I'm Adam Osland. You're listening to FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
We talk, and you love to listen.
Awesome. Love hearing you
LeBron's
guys.
the most hated man in
You
Boston.
can look.
There's
Look at that.
zero
Look.
chance he
Look at
goes
him.
there.
Yo, what's up? I'm Kelvin.
Look at them.
Tom Brady is the man.
Don't turn away.
Take a
They-
closer look.
Fox Sports Radio.
Nobody. I agree, but I went to school out
and
there
I'm a
for
widow.
4 years.
My husband,
I've
Ryan,
never
died.
seen
We
an
never thought
athlete
we'd
more
ever have to
hated in
use
my
life
life
insurance, but the
because he
unexpected
signed with the Lakers my
Ethos,
freshman
signing up
year.
was fast
Oh
and
my God, they hate him
100%
out there.
online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application.
Mark said he wants him to go to the Bulls.
Hey, it's Bubba Wallace from 2311 Racing. You know what feels like forever? Sitting on a plane waiting for takeoff. Good thing I've got Chumba Casino. With daily boost and social casino games on tap, this is the kind of fun that makes time fly. Why not turbocharge your downtime? Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus.
Can help out Edwards and go to be a Timberwolf.
The Herd. When Colin Cowherd drops the info, The Herd, you need to listen.
That a Steeler fan survey, and they asked Steeler fans, what are your feelings on Mike Tomlin's departure? 75% of Steeler fans said, I was ready for him to go, or he should have left years ago.
See the news story. LeBron's tried to get rid of the coach. LeBron tries to get rid of Edwards.
Second season was the right move. 42%, the largest percentage, either disagreed or strongly disagreed. I think you can argue either way on that. I think the fans in Pittsburgh are right. Third question. Steelers haven't won a playoff game since
They can't live with him.
a long time ago. What has been the biggest thing holding the team back? Quarterback play, coaching are 77%. So the fans want change. The fans are seeking change. The fans in Pittsburgh are clamoring.
Get in a fight with his dad.
See the issue. It's the ownership that doesn't. The Rooney family.
He already dealt with one ball, brother.
In most instances, I'm going to trust ownership and a GM over a guy in the third deck. But the fans in Pittsburgh, I mean, the Steelers lost a great GM. He leaves. What do? Walk down the hallway and give it to a guy in the building. You know I hate that. I don't like it with coordinators. I don't like it with coaches. Got to do a global search. Steelers move off Mike Tomlin. What do? Hire a Pittsburgh guy. So the
absolutely, and I think LeBron did like him.
The fans, according to the survey, don't want to play it safe.
If you're eager to find out what Colin said next, just podcast it by searching The
Do you
Herd.
buy it, though?
And
Do you
as
think he already knows
you
where
can
he's
listen
going?
live to Colin Cowherd, weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is Two Pros and a Cup of Joe.
So here it is. Why the hell would the Browns trade Shedeur Sanders? Why would they trade anybody? They're not in a position to do anything.
There is the idea that Cleveland does not believe that they can win with Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel.
It's got to be
after
Cleveland,
what
right?
they
Like, there's no other.
and witnessed last year.
Yeah.
So I'll take the outrage of the fans right now with a trade, with the hopes that Deshaun Watson can carry us.
I'd really like to see him go to Philly.
Give me one good year with your money stealing, grabbing, stiff towel ass. Give me one good year, you son of a. You know what I mean? Like, give me one good year.
Damn.
Two Pros, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and a Cup of Joe, Jonas Knox. 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, Steve Cavino.
Oh, boy.
Rich Davis. This is Cavino and Rich.
No knock on the USA, but they had an opportunity to win over millions and trillions and billions of fans that were tuned in. They fed us this belief that they had a chance. We believe. We got caught up in this fever only to watch this dud of a performance. It was one of the weakest butt fumbles of World Cup soccer that we ever watched. So they had the opportunity to seize the moment and win people over. Didn't even need to be a victory, Rich. That would have been great. But some fight would have been
I think
nice.
what everyone wanted, Cavino, because our video guy Spot was like adamant, like, what were your expectations? Did you think they were going to win the whole thing? And I said, no, I just think most Americans were like, yo, if they could win 2 knockout games and get to the final 8
That
teams,
would've been dope.
semifinals, that would have been a step in the direction of like, wow, we're making progress.
Cavino and Rich, weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Whoa.
Why, hello there.
You're listening all day. You're listening all night. Now you can watch us on YouTube, That's right. On Instagram and X. Watch us yell.
Do it.
I'm wrong.
It makes me sick.
Watch us sing.
One shining moment. Somebody.
Tacos and teas, bets and Joe Montana.
Watch us dominate.
I listen to you guys every day.
And that's kind of a big deal.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Good stuff.
And that's it.
FS1. Follow your favorite teams and more. FS1, where live sports happen. To find FS1 on your television, download the Fox One app for details.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad. FnA, Cotton. FnA.
Back in FNA on FSR. Coming up in about 10 minutes or so, Law Murray of The Athletic going to come on and talk some summer league action, talk some NBA offseason. Also a question about the second apron, and maybe that might be a source of contention between the NBA Players Association and the league in the upcoming labor talks here in the next year or so. So we'll talk about that, among other things, with Law Murray of The Athletic coming up in about 10 minutes. But right now, Adam.
Nerds. What is a nerd?
Lone gunman.
We're playing D&D tonight. You want to come?
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
Beekman's World.
Don't be jealous that I've been chatting online with babes all day.
Just keep your power gloves off her, pal.
Brace yourselves, gentlemen.
Well, 45 years ago, on July 9th, 1981, so 45 years ago yesterday, the original Donkey Kong debuted. Not Donkey Kong Country, not Diddy Kong Racing, the OG Donkey Kong. As for why it was called Donkey Kong, creator Shigeru Miyamoto said basically, he was trying to say stubborn gorilla, Donkey Kong, stubborn like a jackass,
Yeah,
I see. The original idea for the game, though, had nothing to do with a monkey at all. They wanted a Popeye game, but Nintendo failed to license the comic strip. Maybe if they had Popeye, like his arms were so big, he'd push off the ground to jump that way.
He would throw cans of spinach instead of barrels at you or something. Is that what the premise was going to be?
Cans of spinach into his mouth, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
This was the first game Mario was in. This is Donkey Kong Country music, but we'll take it. It
wasn't his name. Mario's name was not Mario, right? It was like overweight plumber guy or something. Wasn't that literally what his name was? Like it wasn't
Joe the plumber.
It was like something like overweight handyman.
You're close. They called him Jumpman.
Jumpman. Okay, that's
Jumpman. I don't know if he was wearing Air Jordans. It looks more like boots with the limited graphics at the time. But
so
that's
Phil
what
Knight
it
and
said.
Sonny Vaccaro, was that their inspiration behind the Jumpman for Michael Jordan? They stole it from Mario.
I didn't see that in the movie Air.
Okay.
Done by Ben Affleck,
making
but
sure.
maybe. Originally, though, he wasn't going to have the ability to jump. And it was going to be more like a maze thing.
It was because he was overweight and a plumber?
No, it wasn't
Okay.
that. He actually wasn't a plumber. But how are you going to call him Jumpman if he doesn't jump? Like, you can't be Blackbeard the pirate without a black beard. That wouldn't make sense.
Or is it like an irony thing? Like people call like a heavyset guy tiny, like one of those sort of things?
Oh, yeah. Like our old buddy Debo.
Yeah.
What was his full name?
Tommy Lister.
Not Tiny Lister.
Some would call him Tiny, but
Okay,
Tommy
okay,
Lister was
okay.
his name. Yes. Cal State LA alum, just like me. There you go.
So RIP. Nintendo went with Jumpman. There was already a Pac-Man. There was already a Walkman. And he wasn't a plumber. Because it's Donkey Kong, he's climbing up the framework of an unfinished high-rise after Donkey Kong so we can save not Princess Peach. Her name was Pauline, which was taken from the King Kong movies. I don't know about the new ones with Godzilla and Kurt Russell and the TV show on Apple or whatever, but Universal actually wanted a cut of Donkey Kong, the video game's profits because of this. But they didn't end up getting that, even though it made in 1 year for Nintendo $200 million. They won the copyright infringement case. As it turned out, the King Kong name and the image had already been used on like several unlicensed products, and Universal didn't own the exclusive rights. And the original movie was made by a defunct company named RKO anyways back in 1933. So it was kind of like a free play. Anybody could use it if they wanted
Public
to.
domain at that point.
Yeah,
I got you.
Nintendo got away with it. Nintendo also took ownership, though. They copyrighted and trademarked this. It's on like Donkey Kong. Like that first used an Ice Cube song from 1992. I don't even know if I can say the name of this one. It was off the Predator album.
Yeah.
But Nintendo, they got their way with Mario. He was jumping on the beams in Donkey Kong, and they eventually started the platform genre. This was the first ever platform.
30 seconds.
Like two-dimensional graphics with a player controlling a guy that jumps or climbs on different platforms. That is what defines it.
Sounds like Mario came a long way. He went from a construction worker crawling up, platforms to save a woman he was catcalling to becoming a plumber to saving princesses.
Well,
that's a large leap forward. So congratulations to the Jumpman for that.
10.
Kong's also had about 35 different games now at
5 seconds.
But up next, La Murray of The Athletic. It's FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. FS1. Live sports and live programming. FS1. Big games. Big takes. To find FS1 on your television, visit FoxSports.com for details. Jason Smith and Mike Harmon are dropping knowledge like this.
These guys are sick, man.
Here's a hot take coming off of the World Cup. The last 24 hours, you have seen, especially on social media, now you're seeing a lot of former players, a lot of analysts talk about this, that the downfall of the United States men's team is because of youth soccer, travel sports being responsible for not getting the kids up to speed enough where by the time they turn professional, they can be amongst the best in the world. This blaming travel is the laziest take possible, and anybody who does it, is lazy. And everybody that I've seen, especially our people in the media that are pushing this, not former athletes, but when I speak about, I know, yeah, because you're a lazy host. You're a lazy TV host. You're a lazy radio host. Because I'll tell you exactly why this is a ridiculous statement to make. Travel sports, right? It's expensive, all these different things. We have travel sports in this country for everything, right? We have travel sport. There's travel basketball, okay? Travel basketball. Problems with travel basketball is expensive, right? Oh, we're not getting the players ready for what they should be doing in college, and we've heard stories that maybe they should be more developed. They're worried about getting scholarships to college, but those are the problems. Pretty sure we produce the best basketball players in the world, and we have done so for the better part of 60 years. Okay, do we even have to talk about football? We have the best football players in the world. It's not even close. I didn't have to go, but football's expensive. Yes, there's a lot of camps, a lot of things you go to, but we produce the best football players in the world. Travel baseball.
To get the rest of what Jason Smith and Mike Harmon said, podcast it by searching The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And as always, you can hear The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
The New York Yankees. They have now had 2 games where they struck out 17 times.
It's happened 11 times in franchise history. It's happened back-to-back nights now at this point.
Yes, but they won one of them.
My entire thesis with this Yankee team.
A thesis, huh?
They just strike out so much. The offense is just lifeless. Michael Kay said he heard from multiple people that the Yankees asked Anthony Volpe to play some second base in the minors, and Volpe said, no, I'm a shortstop. And then Michael Kay comes out and said, I checked in further with those rumors. There's no report to it. I think Michael Kay got his marching orders from the Yankees to kind of retract that statement because Anthony Volpe, you're in no position to be making demands of where you're playing when you're batting under 240, buddy.
Right.
Stu Gatz and Company live is right here. Weekdays, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Jason Smith.
You ready?
Mike Harmon.
And that's it.
We've put the sports world on notice.
We're going to do our thing.
We've taken 2 of the best to disrupt the status quo.
That's not a bad idea.
Do you agree, Mike Harmon?
Oh, hell yeah. Good for them.
Did we mention their best friends?
Smith and I, we butt heads about a lot of things.
They both need help.
It's the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken.
Wow.
You can see him on The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 in the Fox Sports app. And here's what you need to know.
In late night baseball Friday, Arizona 9-3 over the Dodgers for LA, an all bullpen game as Shohei Ohtani did not pitch and will miss the All-Star game due to left knee irritation. He'll get fluid drained from the knee after Sunday's game. He'll still DH this weekend. In fact, he hit a leadoff homer in this loss. St. Louis 2-1 over Atlanta. Long rain delay in the 4th inning. The game ended at about 12:25 Central Time. Long night in D.C. Rain delay at the start. Eventually, the Yankees hit hit 2 homers in the ninth and beat Washington 5-3. Washington at Pittsburgh rained out. Detroit won its 6th straight. Boston won its 7th in a row. Cleveland ended Miami's 6-game winning streak 3-2. White Sox 14-1 over the A's, who've lost 7 straight. In a World Cup quarterfinal, Spain eliminated Belgium 2-1 on a late goal, and the Spurs gave Victor Wembanyama a 5-year extension. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That's right, hour 2 of FnA on FSR. It's Kevin Figures, Adam Austin with you guys. Appreciate you guys joining us as always. Last hour, I talked a little bit about the United States' embarrassing effort petering out in the World Cup. Got into the best and worst destinations for LeBron James. And I think we might get into a little bit more NBA this hour as well there, Adam. A flurry of NBA moves over these first couple of weeks in free agency.
Yeah, we'll talk about the best and worst moves in the NBA. But let's talk about a man who's got boots on the ground right now at Summer League.
Phone's ringing, dude.
Thank you, Donnie.
Well, joining the show right now is a man who would never slide into a stranger's DMs just to talk crap about his former teammate and then eventually get walked down by that man and punched out in Vegas at Summer League. No, this guy's too classy. He doesn't talk behind people's backs. If he's got something to say, I'll say it to your face. It's Law Murray, or at least on the phone line. At Law Murray, the NU is where you find him from The Athletic. He's in Las Vegas covering the league in Summer League and covering all the drama as well. Law, thanks for doing this late night once again here on Fox Sports Radio.
Yep, thanks for having me. I'm on the 26th floor, so hopefully y'all retain my connection.
Okay.
All right, well, you're holding up pretty well so far. So, I mean, you're the boots on the ground like Adam was alluding to earlier. So, any added insights that you can give us other than what we already know between the altercation between former Heat teammates Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo?
I mean, shoot, I'm just looking forward to that schedule coming out next month, man. That it's going to come for Giannis and stay for Tyler Hero versus Bam. You know, I hope somebody scores 83 points that night. So
I saw some Laker fans.
I mean,
no, go ahead, Law.
It's just crazy because, you know, those teams, I think that was the first Summer League game of today. Obviously, you know, you got two teams that made a huge trade and Giannis going to Miami. But in this case, you know, those guys, Tyler Hero and the rest of the Heat, you know, they're all here. Like, that's the craziest thing about Vegas. Like, these things happen where everybody is here at least until after that first weekend, and then it's an exodus in terms of people getting out of Vegas. But it's funny, like the Heat actually posted a tweet in the morning about Bobby Portis meetings, and Bobby Portis once punched out his teammate Nikola Mirotic when they were. That dude wound up on the Milwaukee Bucks as well. Before Bobby did, it's just really ironic. Like the Heat were like, don't see these guys having any chemistry issues, and it's like, what did they know? Yeah, like there's been tension. You know, Miami is known for a team that squeezes the most out of the rosters that they have, but like, you know, that's two star players who didn't leave Miami in the best of ways. You know, I think Tyler was really classy in his public statement to Miami and how he started his career there, but clearly there was some tension there, and Bam let him know about it physically. So we're all going to see a lot play out on the NBA floor, and this is just another addition to that.
So in this case, what happens in Vegas will not stay there because it's going to enter on the schedule at some point. These two are going to match up this season, obviously. But who's the best player you've seen so far, or the guy who has maybe surprised you most in Summer League, Law?
Well, I'm not sure if it's a surprise. watch Yaxel play. Every time he's played well. He's played under control. The concern with Yaxel is his age, but I would say this: he's a very good basketball player, and I mean that guy makes shots. He makes the right plays. He clearly has an NBA ready body, but like he's just really good. And I mean, the last time anyone saw him, he was winning a championship with 2 other lottery picks. But like he's really good. I'm looking forward to seeing Morris Johnson Saturday night. I saw Ademera tonight. I was not impressed. I think he'll be fine overall, but like he likes to pass too much. Like I saw him throw a behind the back pass instead of try and dunk the basketball. Like well over 7 feet tall and not a single bucket against a Lakers team that started 6'8" Anton blocks in that center tonight. So all that to say, Yaxel was my favorite Michigan Wolverine, and I think he's played good. He's played well every time I've seen him play. It's only been 1 game in Vegas, but like obviously they had their summer league start a week ago.
Yeah, DeBonza versus Peterson the other night. Both guys, from an individual number standpoint, looked pretty good, although Peterson had a lot of turnovers. Anything surprise you positively or negatively from those two in that matchup?
Not in particular. I think Darren is going to be interesting because I know he wants to be a point guard. Utah had a pretty good point guard last year in Keontae George, a guy who I didn't vote for him for MIP, but like if he got votes, then it doesn't surprise me. Like I thought he played pretty well. I thought that Utah did what they had to do to shut him down before they won too many games. I'm interested to see what happens with his extension talks going into next year, and then like if he doesn't get extended, how they handle restricted free agency for him. But Darren is a guy who he's shown some highs as a playmaker, and then obviously he's had some missed games. The turnovers being a part of that. I think he had a lot of fouls as well Thursday night. But man, like this is a very exciting draft class. These guys, AJ and DP, they're at the top of that. And Darren is fun to watch. Just get a bucket, you know. He already is confident getting to his shot in a number of ways, getting by his man and finishing. Like, that's going to be exciting to watch. Like, how Will Hardy actually utilizes real on-ball threats, like multiple on-ball scorers, to go with what he has as far as the off-screen offense that he's run over the years in Utah. It's going to be very interesting. That team has a chance to be, I don't want to say a sleeper, but like that team should be a league pass favorite for sure. And I think Darren obviously is going to be a big part of that.
Law Murray from The Athletic is our guest here. It's FnA on Fox Sports Radio. Law, we were just talking about LeBron James in the last hour, best and worst destinations for him. Where do you think he's going to go, and where would you like to see him go from a basketball interest perspective?
I've been saying Cleveland or Golden State, and I'm leaning more towards Cleveland, but I'm really, really interested to see how Cleveland gets their roster to a place to add LeBron, both from a cap standpoint as well as there's only one ball standpoint. And I think James Harden is just someone I got to keep an eye on. Like, I've seen James Harden think he has everything figured out, and he's very good at figuring things out before things kind of go sideways on him. For example, Houston adding Fred VanVleet after they hired Ime Udoka as head coach, and James having to go on a long tirade to get himself out of Philadelphia. I just wonder if that conflict comes up with LeBron at the very least being interested in, going back to Cleveland again. Where I would like LeBron to end up in my logical, practical basketball mind is Minnesota. Because if he were to play power forward and replace Julius Randle, playing with LaMelo and Anthony Edwards, then that roster makes a ton of sense all of a sudden. You have a premier rim protector, a premier perimeter defender, an on-ball guy who is a star, a playmaker, and then a bench full of guys who can fortify lineups to get through a regular season, and then, you know, something left in the playoffs. Like, it would be, basketball-wise, I think it would be great, but no one is really talking like that's actually going to happen, and that's unfortunate. But we're talking about LeBron here. We're talking about a guy who went to the Los Angeles Lakers when they were the worst team in basketball the previous 5 years before he went there. So I would hope that he comes to a decision shortly, but yeah, that's where I'm at on Brown right now.
You bring up the Lakers, his 8 years there. Do you think they will miss him on the court this season and realize the void that is left without LeBron James with the way they've constructed this team so far?
I know they'll miss him. They know they'll miss him. Like, LeBron gave that team a certain floor for when things didn't go well. I'm talking specifically just last season. And the Lakers looked really good in two parts of the year. One didn't involve LeBron, how they started the year and how they went through most of November. And one did involve LeBron. And it involved a LeBron that I knew had to happen for the Lakers if they were going to be good with all those guys healthy. The LeBron who had to take a back seat to that Austin Reeves, who is not the same caliber of player LeBron, obviously. Even at this stage, I'm specifically talking at this stage of LeBron's career, obviously. But, you know, Austin is at his best when he can play with freedom and have the ball in his hands. Not that he can't play like that. It's just, what is the best version of Austin Reeves? Well, it required LeBron to take a step back and to let Luka and Austin be the one and the two. And the Lakers were really good. And unfortunately, that team died the first game they played in April. You never saw it again. You will never see it again. So I think the concern that the Lakers have is that if something happens to Austin or Luka, even Walker Kessler, like, the drop-off is not just severe, but it's perilous, especially in the West, where a couple of bad weeks can really send your potential playoff spot in real danger. So they'll miss him. They didn't replace him, have no chance to replace him. And the only way you can really replace him is if Luka Doncic connects guys in a way that he hasn't quite shown that he can do for a full year. He's shown that he can do it for important parts of a year, but, you know, I don't think a Luka team has been higher than fourth or fifth. Actually, a Luka team for a full season hasn't been higher than fourth. Obviously, the Lakers were the third seed when Luka got there mid-season, and that team only won one playoff game. So a lot's going to be on Luka to hold things down for a Lakers team that doesn't have LeBron for the first time in 9 years.
Law Murray of The Athletic joining us here on FNA on Fox Sports Radio. Since we're talking Lakers, rumors that they and Jonathan Kuminga are in a standoff for salary purposes. There's mutual interest. They both want to make something work, but they're just missing each other when it comes to numbers. So if you are in the Laker position right now, Law, and are you willing to execute a sign and trade with Atlanta for Kuminga if it means you have to give him a guaranteed 3 to 4 year deal worth upwards of $21 to $24 million, knowing that he has potential, but obviously he really hasn't been consistent and hasn't shown it throughout his early tenure of his career?
I mean, I don't. What's funny is Atlanta and Los Angeles executed a trade quite recently. You know, Gabe Vincent went to Atlanta, and the Lakers attached a pick to that, I believe, and they got back Luke Kennard, and well, Luke Kennard's in Phoenix now, so Lakers, they won that trade, but at the same time, they don't have Luke anymore. So you got to question how much Jonathan Kuminga is worth it. Like, Jonathan Kuminga, obviously, getting off the bus is a guy who could replace elements of LeBron James' game, you know, having a athletic forward who can run the floor, who has the tools to be an effective defender, even though to this point of his career, he has not been that player. So you would be, I just don't know what Atlanta would accept from the Lakers in that regard, and it's not like the Lakers have picks lying around. They use those to upgrade at center, or at least tell Luka Doncic that they upgraded at center. So I just, Jonathan Kuminga is in this position for a reason. Like, he is a flawed player. I mean, every player is flawed, but Jonathan Kuminga's flaws are in conflict with what people think his strengths are. I think that's the critical thing here. So I can see this getting resolved, but I can also see one or both sides finding something not necessarily better, but just different to move on from whatever stalemate they're at.
Law, you've been doing great work following the pause in the Kawhi trade to Toronto that we found out about yesterday. You, Sam Amick, Eric Kareen from The Athletic. What do you think is more likely here? That the NBA did alert the Toronto Raptors that they would be responsible and be taking on the risk back on June 30th during these negotiations, or that Toronto just somehow, forgot about that part and then all of a sudden said, oh, now that we're thinking about it, yeah, that whole investigation is too much for us to go through with that trade right now. Like, I'm still trying to figure that part of this out.
I mean, I just feel like whatever it is, I don't think the communication was effective, and Toronto is forgetting stuff. Like, I think the whole league is ready for this to be over. Now, that doesn't mean that the league is ready to shirk on what the consequences need to be when applicable, but I just feel like the league didn't think the Clippers made a trade. And for someone covering these teams in the league and saying, I wonder what's actually going to happen with Kawhi. It's not like things are toxic. It's just you're in a sell high area here, and I don't think Toronto's tripping about giving up Brandon Ingram and Greg Dick. I think there are, I think the consideration is how much draft capital they gave up to get a guy who is under contract. Like, Kawhi's not a free agent. His contract isn't voided. So I don't think that this is on the Raptors for just forgetting. The Raptors agreed to a deal with the LA Clippers. The deal was agreed to in principle. We all knew that Kawhi is part of this league investigation. I think the league is the one that was like, okay, we can't approve this trade. The trade's been agreed to, the term been agreed to. The players in it have, moved on from their former teams. I don't put this on the Raptors at all. Obviously, the Clippers are the reason we're in this, but I don't think this is on the Clippers in terms of this trade being held up and what led to the holdup itself. Like, I don't think the NBA, again, this shouldn't have even been a June thing. The investigation started in September. You could have told teams around the league in September and October, hey, like, this is what it is with Kawhi Leonard. Like, if you're thinking about it, taking on his contract, this is what the possibilities of, punishment would mean for your team in that case. Like, maybe this is a teachable moment for the league, but it's a pretty bad spot for a teachable moment.
Law, I saw some quotes from NBA Players Association Executive Director David Kelly talking about the second luxury tax apron, and he said it's too punitive and punishes players along with teams. He cited Victor Wembanyama's contract extension, saying he took less money as a way to help the Spurs keep their core together, and he shouldn't have to be placed in a position where he should feel that he'd have to take less money. Peyton Watson, Adam and I talked about it a little bit earlier in the show as well. Denver finding themselves in a predicament when it comes to him. Do you foresee that the second apron could be a touch point topic between the owners and the players in the next round of CBA negotiations? I believe they can opt out as early as 2028, so it's on the horizon here.
I don't think that this is a new thing. I mean, it's new because of the comments and who's making the comments and the contracts that are being agreed to and the success of Jalen Brunson's team in particular. I mean, Jalen himself, but we knew that when the consequences of this CBA was happening, and again, I covered the Clippers, like one of the reasons that this has been the case is because you have an owner like Steve Ballmer who was committed to going over, and taking care of his guys and keeping them together. Like Paul George and Kawhi might be Clippers today. It was under this previous CBA, So we were hearing about this ever since the current CBA was ratified. And yeah, there's going to be a real conflict. And I just hope that the leadership that the players have is in a good place. I just also hope that I don't want another lockout. I've experienced 2 lockouts. Well, more than 2, but in terms of missing games and starting seasons late and having the season starting, I've experienced 2. I was in 6th grade for the 98 lockout. Like that one sucked, because
they played back-to-back games.
Well, I mean, that was a gift, The 50 games that you got that year, I mean, it was terrible hoops, but that was they would have lost the season. I mean, that would have been so disruptive, and like All-Star was going to be in my city that year, and they had to postpone that. Like at least in 2012, you still had an All-Star game, and you had something of a more full season than you had back in 1999. But no one wants a lockout, and at the same time, I think that the players just need to make sure that I think the players will obviously have a case to present. It's just a matter of being effective about taking care of that middle class. I think guys who are going to get paid are going to get paid. And then guys who are happy to be in the league are going to be in the league. You've had the 2-way contracts, obviously, all that. We're talking about the middle class of the league. Guys are getting squeezed. So that's going to work out for teams. It's going to work out for owners. We're talking about players. Like the middle class of the league is in a tough spot. The stars are taking a hit, but the stars also know that they can make it up in a number of ways. They're stars. So the stars are like, well, if you want to win, we'll take pay cuts that we probably shouldn't have to take. Not every guy should be obligated to do that, but you see that's a team building strategy, and some stars are going to be on board with it. But like we're absolutely going to head for an opt out, and it's going to be just something where I hope that it doesn't cost the league any games. I don't feel too optimistic about that.
I don't know if I'd be as excited to see Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo square off at Drew League. I'd rather see it in the league. He is La Murray of The Athletic. Again, follow him at La Murray, the NU. He's live from Vegas covering the Summer League. La, thanks again. Thanks for doing this here on FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
And thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Law. Thanks, man. Coming up next, FnA on FSR will stay with the NBA and talk about some of the best and worst moves that we have had so far in the offseason. It's FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
The World Cup is on fire. The star power.
It's Messi! It's Mexico!
The storylines.
Nobody cares about soccer. The hell? Talk to the hand.
Moments shared by billions.
The World Cup bringing the world together.
This is the World Cup. We are Fox Sports Radio.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Fake testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. On the track, my car's look is everything. But today, I'm talking about more than just paint schemes. I'm talking about my favorite games at Chumba Casino. Check out exclusives like Stampede Fury and my own King Croc Fury. It's just as wild as my car looked in Texas. With over 200 games and new ones weekly, play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
High quality meat, unbeatable freshness, and a family style commitment to care. That's the Heartland difference. Heartland Steak Co. is your go to source for premium Midwest meats delivered straight to your door. Whether you're hosting a backyard barbecue, planning weeknight dinners, or giving someone a gift of Midwest flavor, Heartland Steak Co. is perfect for any occasion. Hand cut and hand picked from the Heartland. Our premium selection includes USDA prime and choice beef, all natural pork, chicken, and more. Save time and money with easy online ordering and expertly prepared grill master packages, freezer filler bundles, holiday gift boxes, all flash frozen for peak freshness. Go to heartlandsteakco.com and use promo code BURGERS to get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99. Heartland Steak Co., your one-stop shop for straight-to-your-door Midwest meat. Taste the Heartland difference at heartlandsteakco.com. Again, that's code BURGERS to get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99.
One guy sees the whole board.
I keeps it real, son.
But here's where I got smoke with you, sir.
The other guy sees what he wants.
Kelvin, you're so full of it.
I know they won the game, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give it to you real.
They couldn't be further apart.
Well, let me say it this way.
Stop it.
And that's why this works. It's The Odd Couple.
Book it.
With Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
You know you make me wanna.
Keep screaming.
Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen.
Here they are.
Their morning show is funny.
Kind of set the tone for my day.
This is the show that has 2 pros and a cup of Joe.
Who is Joe?
LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox.
We've talked about it. Kyler Murray's had injury concerns. So if Kevin O'Connell's looking at, hey, listen, I want somebody that's going to be there the entire year, because when we did have that guy, it was 13 and 14 wins each season. Well, Kyler Murray's had injury concerns. We know the story about J.J. McCarthy. So it basically comes down to, if it doesn't work with Kyler Murray, if something pops up, you've basically spoiled a window of opportunity with Kevin O'Connell as your coach to be able to make a run and compete for a Super Bowl, because multiple times over, you went in another direction as opposed to what the head coach wanted.
Last year was the 25-26 season, right?
Yeah.
You know where the Vikings ranked in explosive plays?
No. I can't imagine high.
22nd. 22nd in explosive plays. It was a down year for Justin Jefferson, a frustrating year for Justin Jefferson. J.J. McCarthy just did not have the type of season that would give you confidence that he can be the guy for this team. It's not J.J. McCarthy that is on the list of positive contributors as a starter at that position for this team. And I'll say this.
To get the rest of LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox. Podcast by searching Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Listen to Two Pros and a Cup of Joe weekdays from 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's Colin Cowherd, outspoken.
I know it's uncomfortable and nobody wants to talk about it.
It's the Herd.
This is
The Herd.
That's what this is.
Man of the people.
People don't want Socrates or Aristotle. They want a guy.
Oh, did I mention outspoken?
I'm sorry, guys, but unpopular opinion. Rivalries are overrated.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Listen every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Wow.
Right here on Fox Sports Radio. One more Dan Patrick.
That sounds like he might be touchable.
One more Colin Cowherd.
Be honest about it.
How about some more Covino and Rich?
Fox Sports Radio Nation, your thoughts?
The most inclusive show on Fox Sports Radio.
More Fox Sports Radio?
Any way you want this, I can make it happen.
Then it's yours. All of it.
we love it.
Download the iHeartRadio app and indulge while you do things.
Do it.
That's a good thing.
This is Fox Sports Radio. FS1. Lock in live sports and live shows on your TV. FS1.
Right now.
Find FS1 on your television or visit foxsports.com for details.
Hi, what's the good word there? FnA, Cotton, FnA.
Welcome back into FnA on FSR. I'm Adam Mosley's Kevin Figures. And with the iHeartRadio app, you can stream us wherever you are. Catch us and all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeart app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live all day, every day. And be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app so it will always pop up at the top of your screen. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio in the iHeart app.
Thanks again to Law Murray of The Athletic for joining us earlier this hour, talking about the NBA, talking some Summer League, talking some off-season. Coming up next hour, we'll talk about Major League Baseball All-Star Week. It's not weekend, All-Star Week. With Monday's All-Star, the Home Run Derby, Tuesday's All-Star Game. Yes, exactly. And whether or not you're as into it as it used to be or has it lost its luster. So we'll talk about that coming up next hour.
So last hour we talked about best and worst destinations for LeBron James. But what about best and worst moves by franchises during the off season and maybe some under the radar good moves or maybe some awful moves you missed?
You lose.
Kevin, you want to start?
An off the radar good move. I like Dean Wade going to Philadelphia. I think he's one of the most underrated role players in the league. If you look at his per 36 numbers, not to get too far off in the weeds, but that's kind of like an advanced metric. If a guy were to play 36 minutes, this is what his numbers would look like. He's actually one of the better two-way role players you're going to have in the league. And for them to sign him, to add him to the roster that they already have, I think that's a pretty damn good pickup as a two-way guy to add to that roster. And obviously the trade for Jaylen Brown is a boon for them. I think that's a terrible move for the Boston Celtics, but I think the Sixers have had a great offseason.
Well, if they get LeBron James, it'll be even better since that's one of the other destinations that's been out there.
I question that fit too, but I mean, sure, more talent the merrier.
I do kind of feel like they still need somebody to blend things in a similar vein of what's going on in Cleveland, where you have ball dominant guys.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia has a little bit of that too. Maxey needs the ball in his hands. Jaylen Brown needs the ball in his hands. VJ Edgecombe can play off of those guys, but he could use the ball in his hands. If you bring in LeBron into that situation, while they are very talented, like they're going to have to overwhelm you with talent, almost like the Heatles did back in the day. They weren't
not as young as he was back then, obviously. So just can't do that.
Playing 42 minutes a night or whatever he used to do during those MVP seasons. Like those teams weren't perfect fits. Him and Dwayne Wade together weren't a perfect fit, but they could overwhelm you with talent. Right. I will go with here. I really like what the Charlotte Hornets have done. They ship
his ass out.
LaMelo Ball.
You're out.
They did say bye to him.
You ship his ass out.
They also shipped out Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
But what they got in return and what materialized because of this, first of all, they re-signed Kobe White to a 3-year deal. And he was spectacular for them in that game against the Miami Heat in the play-in, and Tyler Hero that went back and forth, and the Charlotte Hornets won before getting obliterated in the next play-in game by Orlando. But they get Grayson Allen from Phoenix for Miles Bridges. They also get Royce O'Neal. Dorian Finney-Smith, who knows if his knee is shot or not with the
he couldn't
Houston
even play
Rockets
in the postseason for Houston last year.
Yeah, it was brutal for them when at first we thought, oh, the Lakers really missed out on this guy, but his knee might be cooked.
Right. The rumors that Rob Pelinka was poisoning the well because he didn't like his knee. Maybe he had something to that.
But then also you get Naz Reid in the Timberwolves trail.
Incredible.
In the Timberwolves trade. And that's one of the better pickups this offseason to me. And honestly, I did not see that happening for LaMelo Ball. Like, I think Minnesota would probably be on my loser list here.
They're definitely on mine.
They're going to have some issues.
To conflate that, yeah, I disagree with Law on that. Like, I am not a fan of LaMelo going to Minnesota. I agree that Minnesota needed somebody of that ilk to be sort of a table setter, take the pressure off the hands of Anthony Edwards, but I would have gone smaller, not necessarily smaller from his like a height standpoint, but just I would have gone with like a Drew Holiday type, someone who can be a point guard, but not necessarily a high usage guy like a LaMelo type who can just kind of run the ship a little bit, but not necessarily be the guy.
Like so a younger Mike Conley.
Something, yeah, 100%. Somebody like that would have been perfect, not 50-year-old Mike Conley like we have now. I think you mentioned Miles Bridges. I don't understand that one either from a Phoenix standpoint. Like, they're a play-in team. I mean, they're still a play-in team. Like, he's a solid player, sure. But my only guess is his contract aligns with Dylan Brooks, and those are both expiring deals at about $20+ million each. So unless they were thinking forward, thinking ahead to this year, if we're a middling playoff play-in team again, and it's time to sell at the deadline, and somebody's willing to give us some picks, and we can sell off these two-way players and get some solid picks out of it and help a rebuild, maybe there's something there. But outside of that, I really don't understand the Miles Bridges trade from the Suns standpoint. He's the guy that you would go out and get if you're on the precipice. If you need a two-way guy, if you were the Lakers, you would trade for a Miles Bridges type in his skill set.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would seem like the Phoenix Suns if he does a lot for you.
Especially you give up so much shooting with Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal. And
Right.
Charlotte has a ton of shooting now in a direction. It's Brandon Miller's team. It's Con Knippel's team.
And they have a giant trade exception too.
Yeah.
I mean, and Naz Reid, one of the better role players. You talk about setting a foundation. We have a key role player now. Now we can go out and we can poach a star. A lot of the role players around them are already set.
You probably could have guessed where I was going next with a team that didn't have the greatest offseason.
I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
Oh, I knew you were going here. I didn't even put it on my list because I knew it was going to be on yours.
I mean, how are you going to let Rui Hachimura go across the street to the Clippers like that?
And by the way, I heard you on Clippers talking about this in your podcast.
What's the
other
problem?
day.
What's the
You're
problem?
sitting here talking about Rui Hachimura like he's the second coming.
For that
It was like-
contract, he's making less than he was with the Lakers.
Oh, a couple of $1 million less.
He was
He's
the
a great
fifth best 3-point shooter last year in the league, and
I
best
think
in
he
the
was
playoffs.
the best in the postseason. He's a great outside shooter and offers nothing
It's a
else.
shooting league.
Sure, but he's basically a big version of Luke Kennard. That's kind of the best way. He cannot rebound. He has defensive utility only because he's bigger. So I guess I'll give you that. He's not going to be a turnstile on the perimeter because he's not a perimeter player. But
unlike Luke Kennard.
He's a great outside shooter, but he offers very little else. He's a good player, and take him by all means. Clippers are great. He'll help open up the floor for you. But to sit here and act like he's going to sit here and make some sort of ginormous difference, I just don't see it.
I'm not saying that, but for that money, I think there's more to his game because I don't know. For so long, Laker fans were talking about, he looks a little bit like Kawhi Leonard out
I never
there.
heard anybody say that. but
They absolutely said that because
nobody that I respect would said that. He can make a great outside. He's a good catch and shoot 3-point shooter. He can come in off the 3-point line, make a dribble, and hit a mid-range shot.
He's got an elbow jumper.
He is a very, 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 very poor man's Kawhi Leonard from that standpoint of that is the comp that you want to make.
Well, it was their old coach from Toronto that came over as an assistant coach with the Lakers that made that comp initially.
Yeah.
What's his name? With he's been
Phil
with
Handy?
them for Phil Handy was the one that compared them.
Yeah.
Lakers fans ran with it. Obviously, he's not that. I'm just saying they loved him, and a lot of people were upset to see him go, especially to the Clippers. But really, this is about still not getting a wing. this
Correct.
Lakers team. It's unbelievable. Even if you do get Kuminga, like, are you going to get him locked in for 82 games playing defense? Are you going to get him locked in for one full game playing consistent defense?
Well, I think that's where we talked about this with Law Murray. The issue with the Lakers and trying to commit longer than a 2-year or 3-year deal. But if you do a sign and trade with them, you have to sign him to at least a 2 or 3 year guaranteed contract. And I don't know if they want to do that at the number that he wants, because to your point, they don't know what they're going to get from him. I mean, if anything, it will behoove them to sign him for a 1-year prove it deal. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants more security and thinks he can get a better contract than that. So the problem, Adam, is I don't know if that's necessarily true.
No.
I mean, the market might dry up eventually.
It hasn't been.
Yeah, the market might just dry up for him, and he might have to end up taking whatever the Lakers offer him.
He has overvalued his own performance for some time now. Just ask the Golden State Warriors. You got one more for me?
Yeah, I'm going to go with an obvious, well, maybe not obvious to most, but to me, the Miami Heat trading for Giannis Antetokounmpo for all the reasons we've talked about on this show, not a good deal. You gave away your entire roster. We've equated it to the Carmelo Anthony to the Knicks. They just don't have enough around him. Him and Bam, phenomenal defensive front court. You just don't have enough around him. At best, they're a 6-2 play-in Eastern Conference team. I really don't think they have a legitimate shot of making much noise in the postseason because they just don't have enough.
All right,
they don't even have assets to try to improve their roster around them. They gave all the assets up.
That's going to be difficult. We'll end on a positive then.
You win.
I think Houston did okay getting Tari Eason on basically the non-taxpayer mid-level exception on a 5-year deal. They got Bogey in there if he can be rejuvenated, but I've watched him over the last couple of years. He hasn't looked great. Marcus Smart, though, on the 2-year deal,
great steal,
is interesting. They got him for $6 million per year. Obviously, the Lakers could have paid that. And then Dorian Finney-Smith, he exits. Fred VanVleet, if he's healthy, and I guess he had more than just an ACL going on.
Somebody get a body bag!
Which is scary, but I think they improved marginally, and then internally they have so many young guys in Houston they can still get better. But the Marcus Smart move, the Bogey move intrigues me, and then Tari Eason on that money is fine.
I also like the Washington Wizards trading for DeAndre Ayton. If you want to call it either Anthony Davis insurance, or if something materializes and they can actually trade Anthony Davis for assets, he can be a decent starting center for you if you need to, next to Alex R.
Well, I would have graded this move by the Clippers an A, but since it hasn't been official yet and now is on pause, it's kind of difficult. We'll work through it next and tell you what happened with the Clippers trading Kawhi Leonard to Toronto. But hold up now, player. Toronto is not on board anymore at this point. We'll explain next. He's Kevin Figures. I'm Adam Osland. This is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
We are the guys you can listen to.
No pandering, all grit. It's like an old relationship.
We are the girls you can trust.
Listen.
Who said this was a good idea? They completely go together.
We have a sound that resonates.
Let that one sink in.
From the weekdays to the weekends.
That's what we do, baby!
We are Fox Sports Radio.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
There are some shows you don't want to miss.
This is going to be fun.
And there are some shows you can't miss.
Let's not overreact.
This is Covino and Rich.
The Verlander tribute. He's 43 plus. He was the oldest guy in sports. He announced his retirement. 21 plus years in the league. He had 266 wins, 159 losses, a career ERA of 3.33. So
just more proof that with the world of 5-6 inning starts and
just a different game of baseball. The fact that Verlander's not a 300-game winner just proves that we're never going to see one again.
Most likely not. No. So based on Verlander, the grown folk stuff, you've been taking the liking to as time goes on.
Most likely not. I'm not trying to sway the conversation, but I would say absolutely not. Because if a guy like Paul Skeens or Skubal can't ever get to 20 just based on the way the game is, then who's it?
I can never say never, but yeah, I mean, it looks that way for sure. It looks that way. You know what? Can I tell you the first time I realized that my buddies were getting a little more grown? It doesn't really go with this conversation, but it was like a life-changing moment. I'll never forget it. My buddy Barry, who we called Barnando. I would call him up all the time, be like, man, you see the Yankees tonight, dude? Oh, man, you see that Jeter, bro, with that play? You know, you're having just regular young guy conversations. One time, I called him up, and I was like, dude, man, did you see Alfonso Soriano, bro? And I forget, maybe Robbie, it might have been Robbie Cano.
Oh, boy.
He says this. I'm not even kidding. He's like, bro, can I call you back, bro? I was like, why, man? You out watching the game? He goes, I'm busy. I'm like, busy doing what? Because I'm soaking my roids.
Hey, this is Cheech, and this is Chong, and you're listening to Covino and Rich, so listen up.
To get the rest of what Covino and Rich said, podcast it by searching Covino and Rich. And as always, you can hear Covino and Rich weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
That's a hot one.
The Ben Maller Show.
Kevin O'Connell, who's the head coach of the Minnesota football team, continues to refuse to name a starter. Kevin O'Connell, again, asked about this. He talked about open competition. He said, quote, I'm not really familiar with a closed competition. My first thought on this, Kevin O'Connell keeps calling it an, quote, open competition because saying Kyler Murray's the starter by default because J.J. McCarthy melted down like a cheap candle in a sauna doesn't play well with the base. You got to take care of the base. The Vikings quarterback situation is so bleak. How bleak is it? O'Connell is not, to me, he's not selling competition. He's running a clearance shop. It's like one of those Amazon return pop-up shops. He's selling hope. He's selling hope.
Ben Maller, weeknights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick. The Clippers-Raptors Kawhi trade is on hold right now. This has been going on for 10 months. That's what's surprising in all of this is Kawhi is probably going, I'm not going to get punished by this. Did they, give me money off the books? It certainly seems like that. But how long does it take to find that out? Why don't you just hire Pablo Torre and let him go in and, give you his investigative work? And in case you're wondering, and I know you are, just to give you an idea, Joan of Arc at age 17, she rallied the French army and lifted the siege of Orleans, turning the tide of 100 Years' War, and Joan of Arc only needed 5 months to do that. That's what we need. We need Joan of Arc to be able to lead the investigation here.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. The great thing about us is,
hold up,
when you want us,
be loud,
you got us.
Be proud.
We're all over the place, and I mean all over.
All right.
Like streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app, on YouTube.
FSR on YouTube.
Every show has its own page. We got podcasts coming out of our...
It's every day, and you've got to maintain.
When you want us,
what's going on? What are we doing?
You got us.
Thank you very much. I listen to you guys every day.
Thanks for being part of the family.
On Fox Sports Radio. FS1. From first things first in the herd to your sports teams. FS1 has what you need. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
I choose you! FnA Cotton, FnA.
For the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune into Fox Sports Radio's Countdown presented by BetMGM. Every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific, we will count you down to all of the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown presented by BetMGM every Saturday and Sunday right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app.
Coming up next hour, we'll talk about the Major League All-Star Game and take your calls on if you still care. Is it still meaningful? Is it still an event, the Midsummer Classic, as it's said to be? But this is the opposite of a classic. This doesn't happen very often. This is an outlier. A trade being put on hold because of cap circumvention allegations for an investigation that has taken 10 months now and still hasn't concluded by an outside law firm hired by the NBA, which is now holding up Kawhi Leonard going to Toronto.
The hell's taking so long, Adam? You're the Clipper insider.
Well,
you said 10 months. I mean, you've had all the interviews. Hell, Pablo Torre did 90% of the investigative work on his own, it seemed like. Just get the paperwork from him, interview Ballmer, interview Kawhi, interview the guy who's in jail from aspiration. Now, how long is this going to take? What are we doing?
I'm guessing we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks, but we've heard this before, and the NBA has their board of governors meeting next week, and Adam Silver is going to have to talk about this with the media if it's not resolved by then, and even if it is. The Raptors came out with their statement first, which rocked the NBA world a little bit on Thursday, saying, regarding our planned trade with the LA Clippers for Kawhi Leonard, the NBA League office has informed us that as a result of the ongoing investigation involving the Clippers, we would assume the risk of any potential outcome of the investigation impacting Kawhi. In light of this, we will wait until the league's investigation is complete. The Raptors remain eager to bring Kawhi back to Toronto and look forward to a swift resolution for our players, our organization, and our fans.
So that's the part I don't fully understand about them, like assuming the risk. So if you trade for Kawhi Leonard and he's found to be guilty in this particular situation, so from what I understand, and you and Law talked about this on one of your more recent Clipper Talk podcasts as well. If you guys want to go and check that out, Clippers Talk, you can find it wherever you find your podcast. So his contract will be voided, right? Because it will be an invalid contract at that point in time for this current year. Would he potentially incur a suspension? The Clippers would have draft picks stripped away, I'd assume. But if they already traded those draft picks to Toronto or somewhere else, that's the part, I guess, that I wouldn't fully understand as far as what would the burden be against Toronto for making the deal?
Well, they'd lose the services of the player they traded for. That's how they're affected by this.
Couldn't the trade just be rescinded at that point and everybody goes back to where they were before? Couldn't the NBA do that?
This is not a time machine. We can't the Clippers could have already traded one of the first round picks to Denver for Peyton Watson. Then what do? There was talk they might trade Brandon Ingram for Sabonis. Then what are you going to do? This is just unrealistic. You can't just do takebacks all of a sudden. You do have to assume some risk.
Well, which is why, if you're the Toronto Raptors and maybe at the behest of the NBA, you hit pause and don't actually do it.
The question, though, is they knew about this, according to multiple reports today, on June 30th, when they initially were doing this trade, and it's been 10 days since then. And now all of a sudden they're hitting the brakes when they knew about this from the beginning. Part is interesting to me. It's like either the NBA, because Brian Windhorst reported that today, that his sources said that the NBA had talked with the Toronto Raptors about it. And then Howard Beck said the same thing. And then Law Murray, and they're reporting with the Athletic, said the same thing. So maybe the NBA is just saying, oh, no, yeah, of course we told them that. And they didn't. And then when they were about to finalize the trade, that's when the NBA told Toronto, by the way, you're going to assume the risk if something goes down with Kawhi being suspended. It depends on who you want to believe.
Right. And my guess is, because if Toronto could have gotten out in front of this with their sources and said, like, well, we agree in principle to this so long as the Clippers are in the clear. But I feel like that would have been announced at the very beginning.
Right.
And nobody has said that.
It's not like they didn't know that there was an investigation going on when they were dealing with the Clippers to the point where Kawhi's at a Blue Jays game and Grady Dick is at the Clippers training facility. This is as close as you could get to a trade being completed. And then in the hour, all of a sudden they hit the brakes on it. And I'm not saying this is the Toronto Raptors' fault or anything.
No.
It just really is curious, and it looks really embarrassing on the part of the NBA at this point. Like, why did you let anything go on? Why did you let them get this far down the road just for this to happen?
I guess you can't stop a team from negotiating unless you wanted to just put a blanket statement out, a hush-hush around the league, like, hey, it's probably
30.
Don't discuss any sort of trade situations involving Kawhi Leonard until this is resolved.
Or at least make it abundantly clear that if anybody is trading for this player, this is the deal. Because it makes sense. You can't just undo the trade. It's too much of an entanglement.
Well, we even talked about this during the regular season if they were talking about trading for Kawhi Leonard and the risk that somebody would
10
into that. So it shouldn't really be that big of a surprise to anybody.
Coming up next,
5 seconds.
Major League All-Star Game. Does it still matter? This is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Let's begin.
Sometimes we like company. Other times, company is downright annoying. Let's listen to Stu Gatz and Company live. And you tell us where this show lies.
If you asked a bunch of the golfers at America's Century Championship,
Yeah.
they all would think that I went to their alma mater.
Yeah.
Because I just know where everybody went. So if I see Patrick Peterson, I drop a "Go Tigers."
I got it.
And then he gives me the head nod and says, "Go Tigers back."
I'm familiar with your moves.
And if I see Steph Curry, I say, "Let's go Davidson.
Mhm.
Thank you for putting on for our small college." And he's like, "Wow, this guy went to Davidson." And it's like, no, just wanted to feel a little connection to you.
Right. You try to make connection points, and then I have to go eat at the dinner table. Right. The hair bun guy is now currently over at the chipping and putting green. I mean, I'm putting a flyer on him. I don't know who he is.
Or if he's in the tournament.
I have no idea. He could just be a pro here. What would you say to that guy if you walked by? Love a hair bun guy.
Yeah, I would have to think on the fly. One of my favorite moments,
Yeah.
Trey Wingo was warming up on the driving range.
Yeah.
And somebody came up to Trey Wingo and said, "Sorry, sir, the driving range is for celebrities only." And Trey Wingo had to look at the guy and say, "Buddy, I'm in the tournament."
I'm in the field.
It was like at the NBA parade where the police officer tackled Tyler Kolek because he was like, "No way Tyler Kolek is on the Knicks championship team."
Right.
I feel like Trey Wingo, the way he was striping it out there.
Yeah, he's good.
That guy who came up to him and tried to kick him off the driving range, you should know who Trey Wingo is.
You really should. Well, I mean, debatable. How old was the guy?
He was fairly old.
He was?
He would have definitely been in that prime ESPN Sports Center window when Trey Wingo was dominating it.
Speaking of old men.
To hear more from Stu Gatz and Company live, just podcast it by searching Stu Gatz and Company. And as always, you can listen live weekdays 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is the Jason Smith Show.
Check this out.
Pay attention. With Mike Harmon.
Don't wait till the trade deadline to go replace him. You have no idea if or when Judge is going to come back. The injury has that many question marks to it. Yes, you want to think sometime in August, but maybe not, right? When the closer you get to the end of the season, when you think a guy is going to come back, the less likely it is that he returns. Not that he's not coming back, but you're still pretty good. You got Garrett Cole back, all these different things. You needed to go make a move to delay that impact of him leaving the lineup, and they didn't. And the reason they do this is because the Yankees have gone from operating in the middle where, hey, we used to be very proactive, very reactionary to what other teams did. The Yankees would go out and sign guys, but now it's gotten worse to the point where now they operate scared.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Hello there.
Two pros and a cup of Joe, putting the more in mornings.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Jonas Knox.
How you doing? I'm Jonas from Champion Roofers. I'm here to check out your leak.
Brady Quinn. LeVar Arrington.
Now that's a teammate right there.
Can you think of a better combination?
I can think whatever I want.
That's what I thought. It's two pros and a cup of Joe. Weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details. here's what you need to know.
In a World Cup quarterfinal in LA, Spain eliminated Belgium 2-1 on a goal in the 88th minute. The San Antonio Spurs gave Victor Wembanyama a 5-year extension, potentially worth over $250 million. The University of Michigan promoted Mike Boynton to head coach with a 2-year deal. In the WNBA, a game in Montreal, attendance 21,000 as Dallas beat Toronto 108-95. Number one Yannick Sinner swept Novak Djokovic in their Wimbledon semifinal. Scottie Scheffler missed the cut at the Scottish Open. In Major League Baseball, the Yankees, after a rain delay at the start, ended the game near midnight in D.C., beating Washington 5-3 with 2 homers in the top of the ninth. Detroit won its 6th straight, 10-2 over Philadelphia. Milwaukee at Pittsburgh rained out. Boston won its 7th straight. The A's lost their 7th in a row, and the D-backs beat the Dodgers. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah! Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
Final hour of FnA on FSR. Thank you for joining us as always at Follow Adam A is where you can find Adam on X. I am at KFig1. We are at FnA Show. Talked a lot of NBA, FNBA, fool, on today's edition of the show.
I think I have that somewhere here, but David Magdaleno lives on in the hearts of many here on the show. He has not passed, by the way.
No, he has not.
I'm just... I can't help myself.
We're like the TNT crew, or I guess inside the NBA, no longer on TNT, just burying people.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
Yeah,
Dr. J rolling over in his grave, Ernie.
Yeah. I'm rolling over in my grave most of the time listening to those guys. Now, typically in the last segment, we like to theme it up. We like to talk about a conversation that is relevant and that could also get you involved. So if you have strong feelings about this next one, 877-99 on Fox here. It's that time. It is the Midsummer Classic. But is
On
it still a
Fox.
classic? This time it counts.
No, it doesn't. And is that a good thing? Is it better or worse? How long of a stretch was the MLB All-Star Game determining home field advantage? I feel like it was a decent amount of time.
Longer than it should have been. So the tie happened in 2002. And then the American League, it happened during a stretch where the American League won 12 straight MLB All-Star games. And in between there was the tie. Or
Right.
Bud Selig, and they ran out of pitchers, and they didn't know what to do. And then they overcompensated, and they made the game count for home field advantage in the World Series.
Adam, 14 straight years. I did not realize it was that long.
It's
I thought it
idiotic.
might have been. I knew it was close to a decade. From 2003 until 2016, the winner of the World Series determined home field advantage in the World Series. That is insane.
The winner in the All-Star game. Do you remember how they used to determine home field advantage in the World Series?
Pop quiz, hot shot.
I believe it just switched off every other year.
Damn you, Kevin.
Yeah, regardless. It was just,
You're right.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Which honestly is equally bad, to be honest with you.
It might be
Like,
worse.
Yes.
It's just stupid. Like, how do you not go with best record? So obviously it's lost a little bit of its luster. And one of the first thoughts that came to mind was, hey, okay, so what's the most memorable All-Star game for you recently? It might be the tie game to me. Like, what has stood out more than that in an All-Star game? Where's the classics? The American League wins almost all of them. I'm serious. They won 12 in a row.
Yeah.
National League won a couple. Then they won 9 in a row. It is absurd. But National League won last time out, and they won 2 of the last 3.
I feel like games in and of themselves are the problem is nobody's really in a game long enough to really put their stamp on it, to be honest with you, which is fine. It's an all-star game. You want to get a healthy amount of guys into it. More or less, you remember moments. Like, I don't remember which all-star game it was when I was a kid, but I remember Torrey Hunter robbing your guy Barry Bonds of a home run, and then Barry running and picking him up like he was going to body slam him and joking in a joking manner.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was sometime in the early 2000s.
I think that was 02.
I believe in Pittsburgh. I believe Brad Penny was he was a Dodger at the time.
Ooh.
He started the game and he placed off against Vlad Guerrero Jr., an Angel. This is during the glory days of the Angels, when they were actually good.
When were
and
those?
He threw like a neck-high fastball, 102 miles an hour or something. And, of course, Vladimir Guerrero, of all people, the best bad ball hitter I've ever seen, hits it out of the park.
Okay.
Like, so little moments like that stand out. But actual games themselves, nothing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I guess that's more accurately put. We haven't had a game that came down to. I know there were some winning run games in there, but unless it was your guy on your team getting the winning hit, I don't think you're going to remember.
Or you were in attendance. So I was at the All-Star game. Was it 4 years ago now when it was at Dodger Stadium? And Giancarlo Stanton hit a home run over the center field fence.
Woo!
Like, he smoked it. It disappeared into the night, as Joe Buck would say back in the day.
Welcome back to Hardball.
I don't know if it counts technically as like the furthest hit ball out of the park because it wasn't a regular season game, but he absolutely smoked it. I have never seen a ball hit that far in my life.
Was that Marlins Stanton or was that Yankees?
No, that was Yankees. This was a couple of years. This was recent. This was within the past 4 or 5 years. It was at Dodger Stadium.
I think with the Marlins, he hit one out to left field during a regular season game where Mike Piazza had hit one before, where Mark McGwire had hit one before. I've always appreciated that about Dodger Stadium. You can judge home runs over, a period of 70 years. It just hasn't changed.
Right.
So that's more meaningful. But I remember, I think it was 98. Barry Bonds had a home run at the All-Star game. And there's banners for all the teams circling the outside. And where he hit this ball, it happened to hit the Giants banner that was up. Out of all the ones it could have hit on this home run.
It smoked a hole through the Dodger logo.
Well, that would have been awesome.
That would have been phenomenal.
That's only in the movies, apparently.
Yeah, right.
But that would have been sweet. That would have been better than the natural. The other one, Pedro Martinez in 99, just blowing guys away.
Everybody. Yep.
Just 3 pitches, all it takes.
One, you mentioned 2003. That was the first year that whoever won would have gotten home field advantage. I only remember that because that was during Eric Gagne's crazy season on steroids. But crazy season for the Dodgers when he didn't blow a save the entire year. He blew 1 save.
Yeah.
It was in the All-Star game. And the National League lost.
Okay.
He blew 1 save. That was in the All-Star game.
That's pretty good. National League finally wins, and it's because Eric Gagne. American League wins again because Eric Gagne blows a save there.
Right.
I'm just trying to think of the Bo Jackson moment where Vin Scully is interviewing Ronald Reagan and Bo says hello. That was pretty awesome, but I was too young to experience it live in the moment.
Right.
I've obviously seen the clip now. Randy Johnson against John Crook throwing over his head.
Right.
That
John Crook
happened.
spinning himself into the ground like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. He did it again later to Larry Walker, I think, 4 years later when he was playing for the Rockies.
The issue with anything, and I think this is probably we talked about this before when it comes to all these games with Sunday tickets and league passes, and national games used to be a big deal. The Sunday game of the week or Monday game of the week or whatever it was. All-Star games kind of filled in that gap too, when you used to see players that you normally wouldn't be able to see. And now you see everybody or can see everybody on any given night, even if you don't have packages, because a game on one night could be on NBC, a game on another night could be on FS1, a game on another night could be on Fox. There's baseball games, and it's great. I think it's phenomenal. I love the sport. I can sit down on a random Wednesday night and watch the Royals play the Guardians. I think it's great. I got nothing against it. But it takes something away from the All-Star game because it's not as special and also the fact that interleague play, remember that was a big deal when it first came in 95, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, everybody plays everybody every single season.
Yeah. If you got season tickets to the Dodgers or whoever else, over a 2-year period, you will see every single team come to your stadium, which I love.
Yeah, it's great.
It's almost a blessing and a curse. I'm going to say a word that Brad Stevens said a lot this week when explaining away the Jaylen Brown trade: optionality. Like we just have more options, customization. the Coca-Cola Freestyle machine or whatever it is, where you can get any type of soda you want now. We're spoiled in that way. And there's so many more options on television, especially than there were back in the day, where all eyes were on the All-Star game. I think they call it the mono culture. Like, we used to live in that, where everybody, and really the last thing that everybody watched together that, was a global phenomenon was Game of Thrones.
No, I thought you were going to say the MASH finale or something.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl is that type of an event.
That's the
but
one
I mean,
thing that's
like,
left.
consistently,
Yes.
Super Bowls once a year. It's just different now. There's so many offshoots.
Yeah, I don't know what the ratings numbers were for The Last Dance, but I feel like that was probably in there too, just because of the circumstances that we were all in. We were all craving something new and different and original.
Well, that and the Tiger King, they did great ratings then. And I enjoyed both. But yeah, it's just not the way it used to be. Everybody has their own niche. Everybody has their own thing. And Major League Baseball maybe has, the ratings are good. They're making a ton of money at least.
Yeah.
But
the regular season numbers are up. So I went back and looked for the ratings of last year's All-Star game was a 7.1 in comparison to this year's NBA All-Star game, which was up for the first time since 2011. It's the highest ratings they had, and that was an 8.8. And the Pro Bowl fell off completely. Like the Pro Bowl was almost like $1.5 million or whatever. The Pro Bowl is barely even football anymore.
it is literally flag football now.
It is literally flag football. Yes.
We
yes.
said it was heading in that direction, and it finally got there. Honestly, I wasn't sure it was still going at all. What's the point?
They turned it into a whole weekend fantasy festival, whatever thing. And it was more about the festivities and less about the game, which a lot of people argue that many of these all-star situations should be like that now.
Well, the problem is nothing can compete with the nostalgia of your childhood.
No.
When you become an adult, nothing is as special as it used to be, unfortunately, in some ways. But especially with sports and having that feeling of seeing all the guys back in the day, as you mentioned, that you weren't able to see in your local market all together at once. And that's just not happening anymore. I will take the trade-off to have the on-demand, to be able to see any game I want at any time. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying this is what is plaguing the All-Star game and every other All-Star game.
One thing that is helping, and look, every league has had to do this. The NFL has tried. It's not real football, so it's going to fail. The NBA has gimmicked up their All-Star game. They've tried all the different things, the Elam endings and the 3 different games and the 4 games and the NBA versus the world, which seemed to work this year.
A little bit.
Major League Baseball has changed it up too the last few years. Miking up the players on the field. Clayton Kershaw last year on the mound. And John Smoltz saying, throw a splitter. And he was like, I don't throw a splitter, Smoltzy. While he's on the mound, pitch, stuff like that is cool and different. Things you would normally see.
It's just a game, man.
Miking up players.
No, on that point, didn't he throw like an 89-mile-per-hour fastball and was like, here comes the cheese?
Something like that. Yeah.
Making fun of himself. That was great.
It was great. And miking up multiple players who are playing defense on the field or talking to Joe Buck and Smoltzy and each other while they're on the field. Those are the kind of things that you need to do today, because just playing the game in and of itself in a situation like that isn't enough. And so I can look at it 2 ways, because it's like, I'm a fan of the sport. I should be able to just love and appreciate watching it. But also, I also realize you kind of need to gimmick it up a little bit, because there's nothing inherently special about the All-Star game like it was back in the day for the reasons you just laid out.
And while they went too far with raising the stakes of the game and having it decide home field in the World Series through technology, as you mentioned there, with microphones, more of an inside look, any of that stuff is complimentary, and that does help. And they've done that just during regular season games now with players a little bit.
Maybe even playoff games.
Yeah, maybe not quite to the extent of Kershaw talking back and forth on the mound with the broadcasters.
There was, I don't know, I forget exactly what series it was, but Justin Turner, when he played for the Dodgers, was at third base during a playoff game. He was mic'd up and talking to the guys, and a lot of fans were not happy about that.
I think that might be a little bit too far.
I agree.
In a playoff game. Like, you're overstepping a little bit. You don't want to affect the game and the outcome through that. But in an all-star game, mic up everybody. Give them all.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
fine with it.
Because there is an element, like, even if you know these guys play each other, it's the All-Star game. It's a big stage. We see guys, reach back who don't usually throw the hardest, and they're throwing over 100 miles an hour. We're not going to see either of these guys because they're both hurt. But, I mean, it'll be great to see Ohtani take on Tarek Skubal. Like, who wouldn't want to see that matchup?
And of course, we found out about Ohtani, who will be a scratch in the All-Star game today because he's dealing with a little knee irritation.
Loses a little bit of its luster when the two-way player can't do either of them, And I understand his obligation is to the Dodgers. He's played in enough All-Star games and all that. I understand. And he's banged up. He's not just sitting out for load management or rest purposes. He's actually hurt. So.
I do remember a time where Kurt Schilling, this may be early 2000s, maybe he was on the Diamondbacks. A-Rod was still on Texas, I think, at this time. So maybe around 01. He went right after him and told him, I'm throwing only fastballs at you. And he ended up striking him out. That's a cool moment. That's what you remember. Those are the little things. So I think you're right. It's the one-on-one matchups. It's the individual performances here and there, not so much the outcome of the game because it is an exhibition as it should be. That's fine. Just give us some interesting moments and some fireworks here and there.
I think because the way the game is played and just how it's designed, it lends itself to be a little bit more entertaining. We always talk about how baseball was like it's a one-on-one matchup wrapped around a team sport.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not the NBA guys can kind of lollygag out there and shoot up 40-footers and not try to play defense. In the Pro Bowl back in the day when they actually did wear helmets and pads, the offensive and defensive line would never even engage each other.
The concern of getting hurt in baseball while playing just as hard as you do in a regular season game isn't so much there like basketball or football.
Right. And there's a little machismo there. I'm going to rear back and throw some heat. I'm Kurt Schilling. I'm going to try to blow 102 miles an hour by you, A-Rod. Let's see what you can do about it. There's a fun gamesmanship in there.
Yeah. And it feels like you are playing to the audience and the fans.
Right.
And giving them exactly what they came for.
At no expense to you, Well, granted, these guys are all throwing their arms out left and right these days, so I guess there's that.
There could be a risk. We haven't seen that yet at the Pro Bowl, at Major League Baseball game. As I think about, didn't Drew Brees get hurt at a Pro Bowl? Somebody had gotten hurt before in a Pro Bowl in the NFL, which you would expect to happen. But there hasn't been any serious injuries. Cross your fingers in Major League Baseball at the All-Star game.
Well, there was didn't Pete Rose, did he end the career of the catcher that he ran over in 1970?
Why are you talking about old stuff?
Well, I'm just saying, he
bet on that game and he bet on himself. He had to do that.
Probably. I mean, I appreciate guys going balls to the wall and playing hard in All-Star games and putting out their best effort. That's just like Ray Fosse. That was his name. Ray Fosse was the catcher he ran over to score the winning run in 1970. I don't know if he ended Fosse's career, but from what I hear, because it was way before my time, Fosse was never the same after that.
Yeah, maybe it was plantar fasciitis started to act up afterwards. I remember Cal Ripken.
Oh, that was
his
a great
final
moment.
season. A-Rod gets off of, I think he was playing third base at the All-Star game for Cal Ripken. I think
Ripken was playing. Yeah, Ripken was playing third. A-Rod was at short at the time because A-Rod was still with Texas.
Right.
And then A-Rod jogged over and pushed him and said, "No, you go. You play short. I'll move to third."
And then Jeter saw that and was like, hey, get comfortable there because when you come to the Yankees, you're going to be playing third a lot.
And Ripken hits a home run and wins the MVP of that game. So that was a pretty cool moment, too.
Okay, so there have been some here and there. There's been some stuff. The Torrey Hunter thing to me that you mentioned earlier, because Barry Bonds, I think, was that his 70 home run season or the year after that?
I don't recall.
But he was a monster. He looked completely different and transformed when he threw Torrey Hunter pre-Achilles tear, who caught that ball, by the way, when he threw him over his shoulder like that. Like that was like
and Torrey Hunter's not a small guy.
Moment.
Yeah. Well,
Bonds
Barry
couldn't
had many.
hide it at all.
Barry had many of them. So
yes, he did. But 877-99 on Fox. We do want to hear from you guys on this. Has it lost its luster? You got any ideas of how to fix it? More microphones. That's about all I got here.
And we can throw in the home run derby too in there too while you're at it. Because I'll be honest with you, when it comes to the home run derby, that is literally is there anything, if there's nothing else on and I'm on my couch and I got nothing to do, I'll turn it on. But outside of that, unless the mega stars participate, which they don't. Bryce Harper thankfully is this year. And Caminero, but Caminero is great for the Tampa Bay Rays, but most non-casual casual baseball fans have no idea who he is.
I still remember Josh Hamilton, hitting like 28 in that one round.
Yeah, then he tired himself out.
He ended up losing anyways. Bad strategy. I think they changed the format after that.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it all with you guys here on FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
NBA front offices are wheeling and dealing.
Cleveland star Donovan Mitchell's agreed to a 4-year, $273
that 2002 season was not the 70 home run year. Yeah. This was actually a really bad year for Bonds in 2002. He only hit 370, hit 46 home runs, 110 RBIs, and only walked 198 times. It was a down year.
Waiting at the car wash. That's when I fire up Chumba Casino. It turns those slow minutes into fast.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
New games every week. You'll never get bored. Next time you're stuck
This
in
year,
the
he had
slow lane,
198
hit up with
walks in
Chumba. Play now,
143
ChumbaCasino.com.
games.
Let's
Ridiculous.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions.
Maybe the callers will bring up the Dave Parker throw.
YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Godson Company. Live. Cavino and Rich. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
High quality meat, unbeatable freshness, and a family style commitment to care. That's the Heartland difference. Heartland Steak Co. is your go-to source for premium Midwest meats delivered straight to your door. Whether you're hosting a backyard barbecue, planning weeknight dinners, or giving someone a gift of Midwest flavor, Heartland Steak Co. is perfect for any occasion. Hand cut and hand picked from the Heartland. Our premium selection includes USDA prime and choice beef, all natural pork, chicken, and more. Save time and money with easy online ordering.
Yes, he does.
Expertly prepared grill master packages, freezer filler bundles, holiday gift boxes, all flash frozen for peak freshness. Go to heartlandsteakco.com.
Same thing. I'm texting it right now.
Code burgers to get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99. Heartland Steak Co., your one-stop shop for straight-to-your-door Midwest meat. Taste the Heartland difference at heartlandsteakco.com. Again, that's code BURGERS to get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99.
He's Steve Cavino.
Kick it!
He's Rich Davis.
I thought of like the worst idea possible.
It's Cavino and Rich.
We are in a serious situation here.
They're dropping knowledge.
Everything about it is stupid.
And names.
We did an interview with Jay-Z, and Cavino's like, yo, quick pick. And Jay's like, no. He's like, no.
What up, Cavino and Rich?
It's Cavino and Rich.
Bringing it to the entire nation.
Weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, here's a little something that you missed from the Ben Maller Show.
We have avoided it long enough. The Kawhi saga it's like if you, my friends that live in Florida know this. If you've ever been to Florida, most people have. It's like the humidity in Florida. It's sticky, it's uncomfortable, and you're not sure when you're going to get a break. You know, it is. I believe the math. Last I checked, it had been 10 months. 10 months the league has been investigating this no-show job for Kawhi. Now, the Clippers are claiming they were victims of aspiration. That's the business that went out of business. But they're saying they were the victims of fraud. I don't believe that. I doubt that's the case. Despite some podcast clown barking and winning awards for this, there does not appear to be any smoking gun. Now, why is there no smoking gun? Think of it like going to the NBA's replay center. The call is either upheld, overturned, or stands. This Kawhi investigation has gone on for 10 months. That tells you it's more likely than not the call stands, meaning there's nothing there. And I expect at most a mosquito bite penalty, not a great white shark biting off your leg. And the association, and I said this several months ago, I have some people that still talk to me that work around those worlds, and the theory that has been passed on is that they are simply too paranoid at the league office that if they really do give the hammer of God to the Clippers and ding them.
To get the rest of what Big Ben said, podcast it by searching The Ben Maller Show. And as always, you can hear The Ben Maller Show weekdays from 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gotts.
Yes.
And he Gotts Company.
I love that.
Stu Gotts and Company. Live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports.
Listen, kicking's an individual sport.
With whatever they want.
I once went to 11 consecutive dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes the lights off. It's Stu Gotts and Company live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. When you call yourself the premier sports lineup in the nation, you have to back it up.
Unapologetic.
Well, my friends, we do. Check these names: Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, Jonas Knox, Stu Gotts and Company, Covino and Rich, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, Ben Maller, Jason Smith, and Mike Harmon. Boom. The best. Is that premier enough? Listen to all those names right here. Really? On Fox Sports Radio. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details.
Go! Check them out.
FS1.
Check them out.
FS1.
Lions are lighting up. I guess it's a good subject.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
It is FnA on FSR. We'll get to your phone calls on the Major League Baseball All-Star Game coming up here in just a minute. If you missed any of today's show, you want to catch the podcast, just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get your podcasts. Right after the show, today's podcast will be posted. Be sure to follow the podcast, rate it 5 stars, and you can even provide a review. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get your podcasts, follow the feed, and you'll find today's full show posted right after we get off of the air.
Has the Major League All-Star Game outlived its purpose? James calling in from Tacoma. James, you're on FnA on Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
Yeah, the problem with the All-Star Game is the fact that they had a new rule about 3 years ago, which says if you're pitching on Sunday, you're automatically ineligible to do the All-Star Game. Right now, there's 7 starting pitchers that were selected for All-Star Game. They're now ineligible. Like, everybody wants to see the pitcher for the Brewers who throws 105 miles an hour.
The Miz.
Rasker, yeah.
They want to see Terrence Scrubble for Tigers. But again, he's pitching tomorrow, Sunday, so he's automatically ineligible because of this new rule that came into effect.
Well, I understand protecting the players, and I think those teams would prefer them not pitching in the All-Star Game, considering how hard they throw. But I get it as a fan. You want to see the stars, too.
Yeah, and I don't know, and maybe what they can probably try to do, and maybe it's harder to do when it comes to the All-Star selection process, back up the voting, back up the selection process, so you have 2 weeks to determine and get your rotation set and say, hey, maybe we can find a way to finagle this. So if our guy gets selected to the All-Star Game, we can back up his start and find a way to at least make him available. Maybe he can't. These guys don't pitch more than an inning, maybe an inning and a third anyway in the All-Star Game. So nobody's going deep into the game at this point in time. So maybe there's a way they can try to finagle the voting process to where there's enough time, enough runway for teams to be able to change their rotations so that if a guy gets selected to the All-Star Game, they can find a way to make it so he can perform.
And then the problem with the Derby is this year it's on Netflix. I don't have Netflix to watch the Derby.
Oh, that is a problem for
you. You know what? And good on for you for not getting it too. I'm tired of all these leagues trying to sign up for this and sign up for that. And so I was like, no.
It's never going to stop, Kevin.
I know it's not, Adam.
Maybe James, one man can make the change.
It has to start. It starts with one.
It's only getting worse, though.
Okay.
Thanks for the phone
Thanks,
call,
James. Appreciate it, man.
877-99 on Fox. How you feeling about the All-Star Game coming up next week? The Home Run Derby as well. Does this stuff still matter to you? Does it have its place? Manuel and Gardena, our friend, on with us, calling in from Southern California. Manuel, what's up?
FnA, Manuel's on with FnA. Hey, real quick, memo to Bob Schmidt. We don't need 1,000 freaking Colin Cowturd promos. How about mixing in some FnA, baby? Mix in some Bernie Fratto. Hey, it's not all about Cowturd or freaking Dan Patrick, Bob Schmidt. I know you're hearing me. All right. As far as
You're gonna think we're a plant for us, or now we're gonna face the wrath of Bob for you calling in and saying that now, Manuel. But appreciate the love.
Thoughts and opinions of Manuel from Gardena do not necessarily reflect those of Kevin Figures, Adam Austin, FnA, and the remainder of the Fox Sports Radio.
Not necessarily.
Bob, get on that. You heard me. Get on that.
I've never heard someone call in and go after Bob Schmidt like this in my life, the imaging guy.
Hey, the first time for everything, baby. Hey, real
I
quick,
respect it, Manuel.
on All-Star games, I don't know if you heard about this tidbit. The LA Sparks freaking forgot to turn in their votes. I mean, what an absolute joke of an All-Star game and a league that the WNBA is. How the hell do you, as a team, forget to turn in All-Star ballots? That's ridiculous. MLB, man, it's a great game. It's necessary. I think that you go with
Oh man, well,
I think Bob Schmidt is
cut
jamming
the
your
cord.
phone line there.
good, man. Hey, get to work, Bob.
What were you saying, Manuel?
Sorry, you got
We
cut
hear
off
you.
there for a
We
second,
hear
Manuel.
ya.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying MLB, it's a good game, but they should do so it's like a daytime start. You know what I mean? Like that way you're and go all out with the introductions, keep the individual uniforms, not those softball uniforms they went with for a few years, the American national crap. Get rid of all that. We need the home league should be in home team uniforms. The away league should be in away league uniforms. And these players just got to take it seriously, man. They got to realize that is a huge, huge way to bring in fans, man. It's about the stars. Everybody loves stars in any sport you're talking. So it's up to MLB and the players union, man. Look in the mirror and grow this game, man. Stop BSing. Stop being about your prima donna attitudes and get back to business like the players in the 70s and 80s did. That's what I got for you guys.
All right,
Love
well,
you guys, FnA. Outro. Bob Schmidt gets work.
Thank you, Manny. I don't get a sense that Major League Baseball of any sport has a prima donna issue. I don't know if that's one thing I will agree with Manny on. I do like the everybody wearing their own team's jersey. I think that's something that's across the board in All-Star games. I hated when the NBA All-Star game went back to having everybody wear the same uniform. I love when guys wear their own uniforms representing their own teams.
That's why the 98 All-Star game with MJ winning the MVP in his final All-Star game with the Bulls, that one really stood out. Kobe's first All-Star game, that's a classic. I like that too.
And-
Problem is they make too much money.
Yeah,
They
selling
end up
jerseys, yeah.
selling that merchandise. Buy the merch. That's
I think because what they used to do, Adam, they would have you would have a Laker jersey if it was a Shaq or whoever, and they just have a little All-Star patch on it. But that wasn't good enough. It was like, no, we got to get a full-on actual jersey for you to buy.
take it a step further. And some of
100%.
those are pretty ugly. I think the 97 All-Star game in the NBA, because they were in San Antonio, they had some cactuses on there. Before he was the big Shactus, he was wearing a jersey with a cactus on it in an All-Star game in San Antonio.
And they're not going to make it a day game. They're going to put it in. I mean, prime time on a Tuesday night is probably the literal best time you can put it on, because what is it going against?
Yeah.
So you're not going to put it like on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon or anything. So timing wise, they're probably going to keep it where it is.
No, and you mentioned the ratings. They weren't bad last year.
No.
We're making a big fuss out of this, but people still watch. People still care about it. They're going to tune in. But it's never going to be the same as it was when you were a kid or in the 70s and the 80s when they were tougher and played harder.
That's right.
It's nostalgia. I'm sorry. Those days are gone.
One thing I did like, and this is what precipitated the whole change of this time it counts, the fact that they would go out of their way, the managers, to make sure that everybody played. And they don't do that now in case the game goes into extra innings. So they hold a position player or two or a pitcher or two back. But depending on who that is, you just never know if that guy is ever going to make it back to an All-Star game. So it's one thing to say I was named an all-star. It's another thing to say I actually played in an all-star game. So I wish there was a way they could find a way to make that work where everybody that gets named to the team and is physically there able to play finds a way to get into the game.
As Manuel there was taking shots at the modern players a little bit, something did come to mind. Was it Derek Jeter that somebody thought they grooved a pitch for in his last All-Star game? Who am I thinking of there? That there was some pitch grooving, at least accusations going on at an All-Star game, which would go against the competitiveness and the integrity of the game.
Well, I mean,
and
look,
definitely not happening in the 70s and the 80s.
Well, we're beyond integrity. I mean, Brett Favre laid down for Michael Strahan to give him the sack record. That was in the regular season.
Oh.
So
Take it easy, Owen. I'm getting old.
We're talking about integrity of sports and paying homage to greats and giving things up. I mean, that I feel like that's not unheard of. So I don't know if that would even be the most egregious penalty, to be honest with you.
I don't want to say it is what it is, but I don't know how many more gimmicks they can throw at it to prop it up.
Yeah.
They've tried making it matter. This time it counts. They got the microphones out there. Like, some stuff just gets a little bit stale after a while, especially when there's just a variety of options that you have at your disposal in 2026. Other places you can go to be entertained.
Well, there's also, I mean, after you've done something for so long, like I go back to conflate the home run derby, I kind of compare it to the NBA slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
Regardless, even if the superstar players were competing, there may be some allure there, sure. But after guys are jumping over cars and wearing Superman capes and what more is there to do?
Yeah.
Like that's the issue.
People praise the 88 dunk contest in Chicago with MJ and Dominique, and you watch those dunks now and
that's a Tuesday night.
Cool.
That's a Tuesday night in October.
They're getting 50s for some basic B-type dunks out there when Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon were doing some of the craziest stuff ever in 2016, and there's just no way to top it. The only way you can top it is bring out the team flight guys and the professional dunkers that do this for a living, although Mac McClung was basically that and did some of that for the league. But it was one guy. He didn't really play much at the NBA level at all. He was a G leaguer. That's not enough for people to get excited about.
You know what you might need to do is do some below the rim stuff and do like the old ad with Larry Bird and Michael Jordan, the horse playing horse
for McDonald's.
Off the rim, off the moon, off of the sun, like that, top of the warehouse, like that sort of thing. Didn't they? They had a horse. George Gervin had a horse play a matchup against somebody. I forget exactly who it was back in the day.
There was, that sounds familiar.
And
Kevin
it was
Durant did one outside back in the day. I mean, young Kevin Durant, not quite Seattle, but maybe just 1 year out of Seattle in Oklahoma City. But it was outside. It was like a little side event. They didn't feature it. It wasn't under the bright lights of Saturday night at the All-Star game where you have the skills challenge, the three-point contest, the dunk contest. It wasn't featured like that. I'm with you, but not enough guys, I think, will do it for endorsement reasons. They don't want to
look foolish.
Yeah. And some people like to blame LeBron for that.
LeBron James.
I mean, LeBron who sent out that tweet years ago saying this dunk contest was sick. I'm about to be in this next year. And then 15 years later, never sniffed it once.
He was interviewed during Dwight Howard doing the dunk contest when he brought out the 12-foot hoop. And I think Cheryl Miller interviewed LeBron James courtside. It was like, next year, I'm going to be in the dunk contest. I didn't know you could do stuff like that with the props and everything. Never happened. Now, he says he's just too boring for it. But then remember what he did to tease us? This might have been 2017, maybe 2014, 2015. He's back at Cleveland. He was throwing the ball off at practice, off the backboard, off the side of the building. Like, he was doing all these crazy wild dunks and almost throwing it in our face that, hey, you can see it here, but not at the actual dunk contest.
Yeah, I could do it if I wanted to, but I choose not to.
Yeah, I'm great at this. Don't worry, I'm above the dunk contest.
So
now.
add that to the list of reasons why you don't like LeBron James. Or by you, I mean me. I still love him as a phenomenal player, but stuff like that is the reason why I don't like him.
No, it's fair. There's reasons to hate LeBron James.
I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
At the same time, I can say he might be the best player of all time. I can acknowledge that. I didn't
100%.
like MJ growing up either. I was a Magic Johnson guy. So
Same.
I typically do not like the guy who's on top. I always rooted for the underdog as a kid. Hence, all my teams losing all the
Oh, so
time.
hence you
being second
so-
citizens in their own city.
You grew up in Northern California, San Francisco 49er territory in the heyday of Bill Walsh. And you're like, nah, they like this expansion team literally all the way across the country.
Yeah, but the Carolina Panthers actually beat the 49ers the first time they played them. And I thought that was a good sign, Kevin.
That makes sense.
It didn't
Sure.
work out that way.
Is that the year they went 1-15?
Not that year, all right, with Chris Wanke. Mark, you had an all-star game memory. That goes back a little bit. Give it to us.
I was just thinking about the throw from Dave Parker to Carter at home plate. That was just one of those moments of all-star game where all the players they had this dynamic about them, like a Ricky Henderson and a Dave Parker and Carter. They were just these kind of personalities that you wanted to watch, so you would watch the game. And like we were just saying, the managers would make sure that they all got into the game. So, whatever inning it was, they got the guys in, and the next inning it'd be all different players. But that moment with Dave Parker throwing the guy out at first place at home plate was just one of those great all-star game moments.
I remember my goat Ichiro had an inside the park home run.
A leadoff inside the park home run.
Yeah,
That's right.
at Oracle at San Francisco. That was a good one.
That was cool. Yeah. To Mark's point to a degree too, you mentioned guys like Ricky Henderson and Dave Parker. You don't have the personalities anymore in baseball. That's one of the big drawbacks.
Talking in third person enough.
No, they're not. Come on, pat yourself on the back a little bit. But
as we hate on LeBron for being an egomaniac, and now we're talking Ricky Henderson and
But
praising
most people, Ricky took Ricky seriously, obviously, but a lot of people were just like, he's a phenomenal player. He's a bit of a goofball. This is part of his appeal. Like, baseball players are just so workmanlike, and maybe you have to have that sort of even keel mentality to make it through 162. I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But I love like with the WBC a few years ago and the atmosphere when you would have like the Dominican fans and the Cuban fans, and they're making all sorts of loud noises and all that, and there's a little bit of flair to them. Ellie De La Cruz has a little bit of that to him. Ronald Acuna Jr., when he's rolling, has that to him.
Individuality.
Yeah, I love having that sort of personality. I think that adds an element of fun to Major League Baseball. There's nothing wrong with a workman-like, bring your lunch pail, Freddie Freeman, do your thing. That's great. There's nothing against it. But I think they're just the dichotomy of personalities, I think, is what makes sports fun.
I agree with you. And Major League Baseball is already behind the 8-ball heading into this week's All-Star game because they don't have their biggest star in Shohei Ohtani.
That's right.
Well, they may not have the biggest personality, at least for Americans to understand as much. Like, he's the greatest player, and he's the most unique player, and maybe, I don't know, he's the modern-day Babe Ruth, and they're not going to have him. So they got to overcome that already. Coming up next, will we overcome Mike on the mic? The producer, Mike. It's his segment next. Where will he take us? This is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
The summer is hot,
It's a party everywhere.
and nothing is hotter than getting your sports and entertainment right here.
Why are you talking basketball?
Getting you through the summer days.
Every week, every day.
It's all right here.
Let's get weird a little bit now.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, it's Bubba Wallace from 2311 Racing. You know what feels like forever? Sitting on a plane waiting for takeoff. Good thing I've got Chumba Casino. With daily boost and social casino games on tap, this is the kind of fun that makes time fly. Why not turbocharge your downtime? Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's go! You must have been busy, but The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington. We're breaking this down.
Every day I'm shuffling. The Big 12, the Monster Energy Big 12. Can I say this seriously? Because I was very disappointed with the Dodgers naming the field After what's that company?
Uniquely filled.
Whatever.
Uniquely.
Yeah. Like I didn't like that because I always thought the Dodgers and the
reference
Yankees,
them and the
right,
Yankees.
were all above that. The Yankees. Kelvin, how much money could the Yankees get to rename Yankee Stadium American Express Stadium tomorrow? Are you kidding? Like companies wouldn't want their name on that stadium. It won't happen. The Yankees don't even have a black jersey or alternate jersey. They're wearing the same uniforms that Babe Ruth wore. They refuse to give in. They have tradition. Everything can't be for sale. What is wrong with people? Why can't we have any tradition? Who's got the bigger pay? Who's got a check? Everything's for sale. Get off the street corner, Big 12. What is this? Embarrassing. And we've seen it out in Houston. They've changed the name of the Astro Stadium 4 times. Nobody knows what to call it. They've won World Series. Was it Enron? Was it Tropicana? Where did they play? We named the place. I don't even know what the name is now. There's like a third name. Seriously. And it takes away from being able to have some historical standpoint and where I was.
To get the rest of what The Odd Couple said, podcast it by searching Odd Couple. And as always, you can listen to The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
16 years ago, something happened.
16 years ago was the original The Decision.
That was the thing for probably a decade. Like, if you didn't like LeBron, that was the thing. And I think it's less the decision, the way it played out, more so where he ended up going. Meaning, if he literally had the same thing, Jim Gray, $2 million to, I think, was the Boys and Girls Club, all that, but he goes back to Cleveland, I don't think it's a big deal. I think the decision was a big deal because of the decision that was made, more so than the theater of it all. And looking back at it, I mean, if you would have told me 24 years, that would be like the big scandal of his career. It's kind of like the tan suit.
It's not a scandal. It's just
not scandal, but I mean, that would be the thing that made people irate for such a long time. I guess you'd say that was a compliment. The decision really that's when it turned for him.
This is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
Mic check.
Here we are with Jaylen Brown. So Micah was a great but flawed star. Luka was a great but flawed star. You didn't want to talk about the flaws. Jaylen Brown is great but a totally flawed star. He's not a top 20 player analytically, and that's what drives the bus for the Celtics in the league. Since he has arrived, the Celtics have a higher winning percentage when he doesn't play. I'm not making that up. More Tatum, less Brown, better the Celtics are. And now he was Twitch streaming, deteriorating relationships, getting more vocal. That stuff matters. Same thing kind of with Micah. So Micah, Luka, and Jaylen Brown, I will again be in an island. I think the Celtics will be better next year. Last year, the Celtics were 9-2 when Jaylen Brown didn't play.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. You're listening to Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Radio. And we get the people talking.
The audience wants this.
Whether it's the NFL,
Big NFL story.
the MLB, the World Cup,
All right, World Cup.
the NBA,
NBA.
or just that random story that pops up on your timeline. Yeah. We do the talking,
You guys talk so much.
and that gets you talking.
First things first, I'm going to listen to you guys. Keep telling it like it is, fellas.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Let me talk.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Well, opinions are like everybody has one.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
Welcome back in. It's FnA on Fox Sports Radio. Remember, for the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune in to Fox Sports Radio's Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific. We'll count you down to all the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app.
All right, let's get to it.
Hey, is this on? Quiet, please. Shut up. It's Mike on Mike.
Yes.
Producer Mike, what do you got for us this week?
All right, guys. Well, I don't mean to make this whole last hour about baseball,
why
but
not?
yeah,
Why
let's
not?
do it.
Yeah.
I think you guys raised a few interesting points, and we had some great calls that really piqued my interest. So I want to ask everybody this question.
You like Manuel talking about Bob Schmidt and how he should give us more promos on the station? Those were the good questions.
I completely agree with that, but no, that's not the one. I want to talk about this. So do we think that the MLB All-Star break is becoming and headed in the trajectory of becoming the NBA All-Star game and the Pro Bowl, becoming irrelevant? So the news broke yesterday with Shohei Ohtani choosing to opt out due to a knee inflammation injury. And it sparked a lot of criticism on social media. People were freaking out about it, saying, like, why is he doing this? He obviously played last night, hit a home run.
Why is your knee irritated, Ohtani? What's wrong with you? Don't let it be irritated. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, right? Maybe it's because he pitches and hits.
I will not to cut you off, Mike. I will say, I mean, if he's well enough to be able to DH on Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday going into the break, and they say that the knee is only an issue when he pitches, I mean, could he not go out there on Tuesday and have one at bat?
They're not asking him to do the home run derby.
You know, he's not asking him to do the derby. They're not asking him to pitch. I mean, I think that's a fair question to ask.
Bud Selig from his grave. Okay, he's not like you think of whenever we have issues in the NBA. Say, oh, David Stern wouldn't let this happen.
Right.
I don't know. Bud Selig is that guy. Rob Manfred's definitely not going to grab him and pull him out there and put him at home plate to bat. Just because they need a star, like those fire and brimstone like commissioners don't exist anymore.
I feel like it's rarely ever questioned when a player doesn't play in an all-star game for health purposes, whether it's the NBA or any league. I don't know if that's ever been a giant stink in the past.
And I completely agree with that. I think he truly is injured, and if he needs to rest, let him rest. He's the best player of all time in the sport.
They're only going for the three-peat.
Yeah, exactly.
They kind of need him to be healthy.
But he still thinks he has a shot at the Cy Young, apparently, too. So he wants to make sure he can make as many starts as he possibly can in the second half of the season.
Right. Do we think, though, that more stars are going to kind of take this approach and treat this week as a load management week as opposed to playing in the Midsummer Classic? Because it doesn't carry any weight anymore.
We have seen that in the past.
It depends. Older guys, I mean, Freddie Freeman is playing in his 10th All-Star game and talked about how it's an honor. And he, if he feels well enough to play, which obviously he does, he's going to continue to do it. I think baseball players have a different mentality than other guys. And Adam brought this up earlier in the show. It's just a different sport that's played at a little bit of a different speed. Even if you're dealing with a little bit of a nagging something here or there, you can play through it, especially knowing you're going to have 2 at-bats at most if you're one of these guys.
Yeah, it's just not as physically taxing, not at risk for a major injury playing baseball. They happen, it's freak stuff, but it's not the contact sport that basketball and football are. I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue.
Yeah,
this could just be a one-off thing here from Ohtani. And I do think there's something to guys. The players, maybe they're giving us lip service. Maybe they're talking it up and romanticizing it a little bit. But I do think there is some pride in going out there and playing because they have nostalgia for the All-Star game and watching it as kids as well.
No doubt. And Ohtani is unique because of the fact that he's a two-way player and is just so extra taxing because he pitches, because he's a DH at the same time. You probably have a little bit more leeway that you're willing to give him above somebody else.
Yeah, there's nobody else that is putting that much stress on their body completely throughout. And remember, this is his first season doing it in some time where he's doing it for 162, we hope. Like that minute. It is a very unique situation. And, teams probably have some influence on this as well, of course. Oh, yeah. Dodgers don't want to see him in an exhibition game that takes some, skin or wear and tear off of him for the rest of the season when they're trying to do something that hasn't been done since the Yankees in the late 90s, which is win 3 in a row.
And these managers talk too. Like there was a big stink made about, Dave Roberts and how much Yoshi Yamamoto was going to pitch in the WBC and Ohtani in the WBC and
30
clubs and all that, what's important or not. Of course, they're having those same conversations about the All-Star game, which has much, much lower stakes than even the WBC does.
Even the Giants, who are playing for nothing, might say, like, Logan Webb, we don't want you pitching too much in this game.
Well, Logan Webb doesn't want media members in the locker room. I know that for damn sure.
We got a lot of issues going on, Kevin.
Do you?
10.
You have time to go over any of them?
No. This has been
5 seconds.
on Fox Sports Radio. Thanks to Mike. Thanks to Mark. K-Fig, talk to you next week.
Project NAL is next.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did